Hello, everybody, and welcome to Fireside Stories, the show where I try to kill a bunch of my friends because I'm a GM and I like to do that. Joining us today is our regular cast, where we will start with Refractal this time.
Oh, dang.
Hello. I am John. I am playing a druid. There's not much else to say. Yeah.
Is this how we're going
Short,
to do
sweet,
this?
and to the point.
Is this how this is going to go down?
Hi, my name is the so-and-so.
Alright, is it my turn?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, my name's Alex, also known as Viz, and this guy, I ordered a burrito for him, and he's apparently not going to eat it, so I just need to let the world know how upset I am, but I play Viz, I'm a rogue, I like to stealth around places and stab things. Pretty cool.
My name's Jesse. I'm playing Jube, the Blood Rager. All I'm good for is killing bad guys.
I mean, you can talk also while you're not raging. As long as you aren't raging. When
Hey,
you're
man.
raging, you're just in a blood fury.
We need that. We need that.
All right. So, moving on.
Our team's going to end up killing each other before this thing.
What do you guys want to do? I stabbed you immediately.
I pull out popcorn.
So, as a brief recap, since I was late again in putting out the VOD for last week's session, the party dealt with the end of Dorian, the fourth party member, as he accidentally aggroed or accidentally got the attention of the Goblin camp, where there was a brief fight that they heard through the tunnels, but eventually he was overpowered. With the war camp enraged, they began their attack to break out from the tunnel complex and make their attack on the city of Hanlem. Heroically, the guards that were there, as well as the members of the Firestarters, were able to very miraculously hold them back by some creative spell use, some really good dice rolls. And they managed to barely hold the line as reinforcements arrived and drove the goblins back. After speaking to Lord Aemon, the party was able to convince him to delay their plan to collapse the tunnel by 2 days, to give them ample opportunity to chase down the perpetrator who killed Dorian by decapitation. So, we resume after everyone having rested that night.
Oh, dang.
So everyone's at full HP.
Oh, wait.
Yes, I have 30.
I only have.
You're like, yeah, full HP. Oh, that's right. I only lost like
2
1
HP,
HP out of my 14.
32.
So, what would you guys like to do? Is there anything you want to do before heading out, or?
Yeah. I want to get my burrito.
So,
All right.
alright.
I'm just gonna follow after.
So I forget where this particular aspect was left off, but is Elenara joining us for this killing spree?
No one really asked, so you aren't really sure. If you want, before you head out, you can find her and talk to her, though.
Okay.
It's basically where we left off was,
We're gonna catch some shut-eye. See you in the morning.
yeah, it was that, and she had just gotten healed by you. You cast Cure Wounds on her, since she also took quite a few hits.
Yep.
Okay.
So, I mean, do you want to try to talk to her? Do you want to,
Whatever he does.
Might as well, I guess.
like, whatever he does? Like, he goes, like, use the bathroom, you follow him in, and he goes to get a drink from the tavern, you order the exact same drink, drink it at the same time.
For right now, please.
Okay. You notice Jube is following you, being really weird.
I give him a little bit of a side eye.
but I don't know what they're doing, so.
So you're gonna go find Eleanor?
Yeah.
Okay.
Where are we at again?
You're back at the tavern. You were just given lodgings to rest there.
You want it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, no, you're good.
Do we get money?
No, not yet.
No, we haven't put bombs down yet. All we did was stop the murder spree that we accidentally started.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Okay, well, follow him, son.
going around, you ask just a few of the guards that are guarding like gates, that type of stuff, if they know where Elenara is, and one of the guards goes, I believe that she retired back to the manor to recuperate from her injuries, and I know that she was saying that she was preparing for the next day. I don't know what was meant by that, since I'm stuck here on guard duty, but that's what I heard.
Okay. I guess could I just head over to the manor, or is it?
Yeah, you can head in that direction.
All right.
All right, you get to the gate. The two guards are there, and halt. State your business.
I have a message for Elnara.
Very well. Hey, open the gates. Those fire starters are here. They're here to talk to somebody. And they open the gate for you, and you can go in.
I'll walk away. No.
We
You're
run
like,
in.
all right, thank you. See you later.
We run as fast as we can.
So as you enter, you see a familiar woman, Jube. You see the person, you get brief flashes of bruises both on your chest, on the neck area from the blows that you took from her. She is standing there practicing her forms yet again. And next to her,
As we walk by, like, you want to have a go? You've had some practice since last time.
as you walk by, you notice that Elenara is also there. She's not practicing sword forms. She's instead sitting there and meditating, while holding, basically in full gear, what she had yesterday.
Can I throw a rock at her?
Sure. Roll an attack. It's a
Wow.
ranged attack.
Is this what's happening already?
10.
It's plus your dexterity modifier and then your base attack bonus.
1 plus. I don't know what that's at. 14.
14. That is not enough. So.
Does she notice?
So, you pick up a rock and you kind of toss it a few times in the air and catch it. Get a feel of the weight, and then you throw it, and it looks like it's flying towards her, and then you notice it's actually curving a little bit, and it just kind of goes behind her back, and you hear it clink against the ground as it flies past her. When that happens, she is still there. She's just still sitting there meditating.
Okay, good. That's good. That's it. That's all I'm gonna do.
All right.
I guess I kind of casually walk up. Hey.
I walk up behind him. Hey, how's it going? Good looking?
Behind who? Eleonora or behind?
Abner.
Okay.
What?
And I'm hiding, so stealth check. Do you want
Yeah,
me to
that's a stealth check.
All right. 18.
It's also going to be
I
a
am.
-2 because you're talking while trying to be stealthy. But
16.
yeah, she rolled a nat 20. She knows you're there.
No, dang it. I still say, what's up, good looking?
She.
She's good looking.
I have no idea.
I mean, you've seen her plenty of times.
To me, the ladies are good looking, so.
I mean, she's decently fair looking. She looks like she's in her mid-20s.
Oh, yeah.
Has
Yeah. This is happening.
has black hair with streaks of red in it. And so you say that, and she is still meditating, but kind of opens one eye and is like, "All right, what do you want?"
Well, if you really want to ask, I was thinking we could go on a walk to a local tavern, maybe get a bite to eat, get to know each other a little bit more.
I wasn't talking to you. What do you want? And she looks to Abner.
didn't catch if you're planning on
That was awesome.
joining us tomorrow or
Today.
joining us when we last talked yesterday. I realized that part of our expedition is going to be passing by where we found you. So I don't know if you've recently had any breakthroughs on your past or your history, but if you're hoping to find some sort of jolt or remembrance, that might be a good way to do it if you would like to join us.
I mean, that's kind of the reason that I wanted to go in the first place. So, yeah, I'm going with you.
All right, then. Consider yourself invited.
All right. At that point, she kind of jumps up and
I'm not
she's
so sure about
fully,
this happening.
fully ready and is like, all right, let's go. I mean, you guys are ready, right?
No. Are we?
I just,
Are you?
Jude was just over on my side like, yeah, we're ready. No, wait. Are we guys? Guys?
I don't know.
I'm ready. Are you guys
I
ready?
am ready.
Any,
I'm a rogue. I just have daggers.
any unfinished business before we venture into some cave?
I think we should need some money. Like,
Yeah, we need money, don't we?
oh wait, he's not giving it to us
We're
till
gonna-
after
we're
the
gonna
cave.
pay off the
What about
goblins.
potions? We have no more potions.
I mean, we can go if one of you want to go to the manor and ask
What do you
the
want?
treasury.
I'll go ask my little halfling friend. Can I go look over to the?
Yeah, you can go into the storehouse.
Cool, I go.
All right. So you go and you notice that it's still kind of more. It's much more disorganized than the other few times you've been there, just due to the fact of him constantly moving stuff in and out, getting supplies to to complete the operation, all that sort of stuff. He's in the front and he turns around. Yes, hello.
Hello, good friend. How are you today?
Busy.
I can
What do you
tell.
want?
It looks crazy. I'm sure you got tons to do. I was just curious. Do you know if there's any potions around? I'd be willing to give you some money for it.
I don't sell anything here. As you know, I work for the Lord. And
Yes.
unless you have something from the Lord, I can't give you anything from the Lord, because all of this belongs to the Lord.
I understand. But we've been doing some cool things. Well, cool isn't. My friend got beheaded, so cool isn't probably the word I want to use.
It's the most awkward way of dealing with grief that I've ever seen in this situation.
But I'm sure your lord would understand if you gave some potions to the fire starters as they go and they continue to help you.
From my understanding, I already gave you potions to help the fire starters with the current job you're on. I can't help it if someone disobeys the Lord. I mean, if you want to go petition the Lord again for more potions, if not, you can always just go back into town.
I could. Can I do a democracy check with this?
Diplomacy.
Yeah, that.
I vote yes.
Yeah, you can do a diplomacy check.
Cool. Shut up, guys. 19.
I don't know. That's so funny.
What is that plus your modifiers?
That was plus my modifier.
Okay.
That's good.
As I said, I am here to keep track of all of the Lord's goods. That means I can't just go and sell them for my own profit. They are for the Lord's benefit. So, if you want potions, you gotta go into town and purchase them.
I understand, my friend. But we're kind of in a rush, you see. So what about this? What if I put a down payment, something right here, and I promise to return potions to you? I'll go into town on my way back, and I'll get you potions, and I will return them to you. But right now, we kind of need them right now.
The only way I'd be willing to make that deal is if the collateral you left were health potions.
Well, you see, the problem with that is we need those because we don't have any.
You see, that's not my problem, though. That's your guys' problem.
What if I left one of my daggers here?
One of the many daggers I see on you right now?
No, my good ones.
Nah, they aren't worth enough to me.
Alright.
You're gonna have to go to town if you want to purchase any.
Guess what? I do have a potion that I didn't use. So if I give you a potion,
You get the one potion for me then.
what if I gave you a potion and a and a
Speak up, man.
what if I give you?
Are
one
you having
potion?
some sort of asthma attack? Man, speak up! If you aren't here to do business, I'm quite busy.
What if I give you? I leave.
Paralyzed with fear, Viz with fear of not being able to close the deal, Viz leaves the storehouse.
I come running, laughing as hard as I can. Guys, he just won it. He just won it. Do you have anything that multiplies a potion? Can you like multiply one potion into two potions or something like that?
No.
I mean, we probably could just swing by the potion store on the way out of town.
Guys, I thought we were in a rush. That's the whole reason I was doing this. Are we not in a rush?
How far out of the way is the store?
It's pretty far, I thought.
No, it's not. I mean, it's within the town. It's not like it's. It would be like maybe a 5-minute detour. Hanlem isn't that big of a city. It would be considered more a village than a town.
Oh snap!
Yeah, it's basically in terms of areas that would have a noble sent to watch over it. Hanlem is basically as small as you can get, while still wanting to dispatch a lord to watch over the territory. So it's pretty small. It'd be like a 5-minute detour.
So let's just say this: we have time
Yeah.
to swing by the potion store,
Oh, shoot.
as long as we don't get detained by somebody having sticky fingers.
Ah, so you-
I'm innocent, bro.
Okay, then we do have time to do that.
All right,
Should we go over?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Eleonora just goes, "Finally, guys," and then follows you
I
guys
run
out.
up to her.
Okay.
I try to make small talk while we're walking.
Okay.
What do you say?
Like, for example,
Where do you get that sword?
This one, Lord David gave it to me.
Oh, nice. It's very, very elegant. I like it. It looks good on you. All right, I'm done. All right.
Thanks. And then she kind of walks the rest of the way in silence. So, you guys make a detour to the potion shop.
I'm hungry.
As you
It's a
enter,
game.
as you enter the potion shop, you see the familiar shopkeep with glasses, currently reading over a book. And as you open the door, you know the standard like store
stay-
bell. Like you open the door, it's like ding 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 ding.
I stand outside the shop.
Okay.
Okay.
So all of the others enter.
I don't have
Abner, can I give you like 25 gold pieces or no, never mind, two gold pieces, and can you get me something?
last I checked, those potions were 100 each.
Were they?
Yeah, they're not.
Okay, I'll give you 100.
Potion, just for reference, potions require specific materials
Okay.
to do that, as well as magical talent to be able to infuse the
Okay.
potion solution. So
I give you 100. Can I give you 100 gold coins to get me a potion? This way I'm
Yeah.
outside of the
Yeah.
store.
I was about to say, yes, in support of your restraint you're showing, I will go in and get you a potion.
Okay, thank you.
all right.
For the snap.
So you guys enter, except for Viz.
And me.
You're gonna stay out.
Yeah.
Are you not
So
going
it's
in
just
with
Abner going in.
Yeah.
You don't want to get any potions
No, I'm tough.
in before you get knocked unconscious.
These packs say otherwise.
These are my potions.
Wow.
Moving on. All right, so Abner enters. Eleonora follows you in, and he goes, Oh, yeah, yes, hello? Oh, good. I remember you. Good to see you again. Is there anything I can help you with today?
Yes, one of my friends outside was wanting one of your health potions for an upcoming expedition.
All right, as they're talking, Jube enters the room.
So we'll need one health potion, and then I guess.
He gets out a small piece of paper and starts writing out. All right, one potion.
And then for me, I guess I'll just take a look at what other stock. What other stock you have? See if.
Let's give you 100 gold.
2 health potions.
Here's 100 gold.
And what else? Sorry.
I'm just wondering, like, what other stock you currently have, like, other than healing potions.
In terms of magical brews, or are you wanting
like potions or expeditionary supplies?
Okay. Well, in terms of expeditionary supplies, I don't really carry that type of stuff.
Of the magical variety.
Oh, magical variety. I mean, I do have potions. I do have since the lord of the area, or since Lord Aemon was trying to prepare for the operation, he asked me to see if it was possible to prepare some stuff for him. But with the operation being delayed, I do have some extras. I will be able to remake what he requires, where he reaches behind and pulls out a little basket that has a few extra has a few other potions in it that are different from that have different labels and are different from the healing potions you've seen in the past.
Okay.
I have 2 potions of night vision. Or sorry, not night vision, of dark vision. I also have 1 potion here that is a potion of bark skin. It solidifies the skin on your body to make it much harder for you to.
I am familiar with that one. Yes.
Fair enough, good sir.
Is that it?
Wow.
I mean, the rest would take to make the other stuff. It would take me a bit longer to make it, so I'm not able to sell it.
What's the rates for these?
The potion of bark skin is 50 gold, and the potions of dark vision are 25 gold each.
How long does your night vision last?
The night vision lasts about 30 minutes.
I'm taking both.
All right, that will be 50 gold. All right.
I'll pick up the other night vision or dark vision since you.
Well, he's wanting to take both of them. I don't know.
Are you buying both of them?
Okay, I'll take one.
I thought you were buying one of those along with
The health potion.
the bark skin. Were you buying the bark skin or no?
No, okay, I'll take 1 night vision, 1 bark skin.
Okay, so it'll be 75 gold then.
Got it.
So which one was 50?
The bark skin.
Okay, so
I have 98 gold left. And I gave you 100.
And he's still getting. Are you still
and
getting?
then
That's
they're
100.
each giving.
The health potion is 100.
So then I
give
pass along their money for the 2 gold.
I take it since you're buying these supplies, you're about to head into the cave?
No.
No,
Yes.
all right. Well, never mind then.
Yes, we are.
Let me think. Is there anything else that I have? Hold on 1 sec. Let me check in the back. I might have 1 extra thing that might be of help to you. It's a little bit more expensive, but let me check on that for you. He goes into the back, and you hear some ruffling around.
I walk
as he's
inside.
Okay.
Oh, shoot.
No. I just grabbed the health potion from Abner and I put it in my sack.
How do you know he has it?
Because I know he just bought it. I saw it through the freaking window.
You heard the little cash register open and close.
And I just stood there. I just stand. I'm not doing it. I'm not stealing.
I was more in the sense of, like, I don't know if you're about to talk to them or not. You still hear the rustling as he's getting something from the back.
Don't steal anything.
Yo, I kind of want to know what he's doing back there, though.
I think we'll find out when he walks back in.
I think I should go over there.
You hear that? Where is it? Here it is. And he comes back out, and he has in his hand a necklace that at the bottom of it has a pendant that is like a bluish green in color. And he says, this is also helpful for when exploring the, let's just say, darker areas of this world. This pendant is bought by me a while ago from some traveling guy that was coming through the town, looking to make a little extra money for the next leg of his trip. This pendant, when you twist this here, and he like shows you how to use it, where there's the pendant where there's like the jewel, and then above it there's like a metal clasp, and he twists the pendant when he twists the gem, and when he does, the gem begins to light up. And
How much?
for a trinket like this, I would say about 75 gold.
Sold.
You have night vision though.
I know, but I can give it to you guys.
Sweet. There you go. 75 gold. Thank you.
You have night vision?
I have the little light that I can cast.
Yeah.
Oh. Sweet.
Are we ready to head out? Does Eleonora need anything? I kind of turn to her.
Nah.
She's just kind of like looking around, not really. And then when
What
you
would
turn
be
to
the
her,
name of this pendant?
call it necklace of illumination.
Dang.
I have a cool thing in my.
He's like, I got something special.
Something was
Eleanor goes, are you guys ready?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Cool. I mean, I don't have any money, so I can't do anything here.
Onward.
Oh, you don't have any money, huh?
No, I'm staying with Lord Aemon.
True, he's got all the money. Okay.
Trying to be the sugar daddy. Okay, so we can head over to the cave.
All right. As you, just to expedite things, we'll say that you go ahead and head back to the cave. Unless there's anything else you want to do before heading out, we can say that you've headed to the cave.
I think we just head to the cave, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And using my newly rejiggered spells, I use my level 0 no direction to find north and get there extra fast.
All right. You get there about 3 minutes faster. It's like it's Viz and Jude walk out first. They're like, all right, which way is it? You just kind of walk out. You're like, this way. Let's go. So you guys make it. As you're approaching, you see that there's actually an increased guard presence at the cave, where last time there were 6. There are now 10 guards all stationed there, and there are still the charred corpses of the goblins that got hit by the fireball, but they've kind of been cleared to create a level entry path where you aren't stepping over charred remains.
Appreciate that.
But yeah, they're just standing guard as you approach. And as you approach, you notice that the sergeant who's in charge is the same sergeant that was there yesterday that fought with you guys. He goes, good to see you again, friends.
Good to see you.
I take it you're actually going to head into the cave this time and hopefully not cause a huge scene like last time?
Well, that guy's dead, so...
Any ruckus that we start to stay purely within that cave.
Sounds good to me. I mean, as much as I like earning my pay, as much as the next guy, I don't like earning it by fighting goblins. So I wish you luck.
I do.
And as you walk by, he goes, "Oh, wait, Lady Eleonora, I'm not sure are you supposed to be here?" She goes, Lord Aemon has dispatched me to go with them to ensure the completion of the task for in terms of for them receiving payment. Okay, and the guard basically goes, okay. Lord Aemon is usually fairly trusting. / we'll just have them bring back the head, but all right. I guess that's fine. Go ahead. Stay safe, though. I know Lord Aemon doesn't want harm to befall you.
So, we start walking, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So I go up to Eleanor and I'm like, what's the deal with this lord? You guys got something going on?
She goes, "What do you mean got something?"
Like,
going
are you related at all? Is there? He seems to really adore you, and I'm not quite sure.
I mean, he's giving me shelter. I don't really know other than that.
I'd keep an eye on it if I were you.
I mean, I'm also training under his wife, so
I'm just thinking, as a rogue, halfling, I've always
yes,
learned.
I see you're a halfling as she looks down at you.
I've just learned by my past not to trust anyone, so I would just keep an eye out. Anyways,
All right.
that might be me just being paranoid, but I was just curious if you guys were related or something.
I couldn't say either way. I honestly don't remember.
Has he taken a liking to you? You think? All right, never mind. We're just gonna keep on walking.
Again, I'm being trained. Again, I'm being trained by his wife. So, in the art of swordplay.
I'm not getting into this.
So as we like start to walk into the cave and we're walking by the charred bodies and stuff, I go, "It's not weird. It's fire druid stuff." I basically kind of walk up to some. I basically kind of scoop up a little bit of the ashes, just do a little bit under each eye, and I say in druidic, "Let the hunt begin."
All right then.
Does anyone
You now
want this
have ash
magical
under
item?
your eyes.
Do you need it?
How bright does it get?
For what?
His thing.
It's casts it's not a super bright light. It's a dimmer light, but it was essentially within a 15-foot radius. It would make it look like you're fighting. It would be the equivalent of fighting in daylight. So
how long does it illuminate for?
30 minutes. Wait, no.
he didn't say. You aren't really sure.
Alright, well,
You haven't tested it, so.
Maybe it's just whenever you
Give
twist
it
it.
When I twist it, I'll try
give
it.
it to me when I run out of my.
I don't have to even give it to you. Technically, I can just light it up.
Oh,
And
that's true.
As long as you guys are staying close, yeah.
yeah,
Well,
just stay next to me.
Don't use it. 'cause
Just
I-
don't try any spell checks while you're wearing it, or stealth checks.
Yeah. If I'm gonna get stealthy,
What is that beacon of light out there that I see over yonder?
If I'm gonna go stealthy, I'll give it to you.
I have one night vision.
Do you have night vision?
No, but I have my light
Okay.
that I can use.
Yeah, and if
It's
I
kinda
remember
like
correct,
your necklace.
if I remember for light, it's a 30-foot radius.
It says 20 foot. in the-
20 foot. Okay, so it's a little bit less.
It lasts for
So-
10 minutes per level.
Yeah. So
Are you gonna shoot a light or am I just gonna have to use night vision?
Just follow me.
Are we
I naturally have it.
wanting to go in guns blazing or try to take him by surprise?
I think we should stealth it. Yeah.
Okay. Then I guess we can start to ease our way in. You kind of take the lead since you can see best, and then once it starts getting like completely dark, we can take the potion.
Go ahead. No, that's not one. No, I'm sure we'll know actually.
okay. So you're gonna before you have to take your potions and stuff, you get to the initial fork of the way to the teleportation ring that you found, or the way towards where the goblin horde came from last time. You want to first do that, or first head down to the goblins?
I kind of turn.
Just as like blood.
I turn to Eleanor. We'll probably want to do this before we're too busy to take care of it. And then I kind of motion towards where the teleportation ring was.
Okay.
So, are we good to go there?
I don't know. Is everyone else
Yeah.
gonna go?
I'm down.
All right, so you head back to that room. As you enter, as you're walking down, she goes. As you're beginning to walk down, she goes. So, this isn't the direction the goblins came from, right?
I mean, the first time we came through here, a couple goblins walked through, but the main path was the other way.
All right, and she pulls off her backpack, pulls out a torch, and lights it, and continues walking down the way.
Okay.
So much for stealth.
Do you actually say that, or are you just saying that out of game?
Yes, I say that out loud.
You just scream at the top of your lungs.
I say it to where she can hear me.
She goes, The goblins you already said are the other direction.
There
Put it
could
out.
be some over here.
Then we'll fight them.
Some of us have more health than others.
Yeah, and those that are healthier will probably be the ones that'll take the first hits.
Alright, we'll put it out and let's go.
Why should I put it? We're going to examine the place. We're gonna need light to examine it.
Alright, fine. Whatever. Abner, what do you say?
Tell her to go.
Yeah, tell her. Tell her.
It's not that far down the path, is it?
No, it's not.
You get there in like 30 seconds or so. Or a minute.
Like a minute.
Abner, you tell her.
I figure we probably get there by the time they're done arguing. Right?
But like, as you guys are like, Abner, tell her, Abner. It's you get to the teleportation room.
I
As
remember this.
as you get there, you can still see on the ground. Like, I mean, for a brief recap of what the room looked like, there are multiple pillars in the room, but then in the center there are no pillars. There's instead a circle on the ground with runes etched on the outskirt of the circle. And from the end of last time you were in this room, there is the ground has been scorched and scarred by a flame, as well as you can see there's still a few remnants of weapons that were incinerated. So it'd be like the end of a spear because the wooden shaft has been completely burned away, that type of stuff. And she goes, so this is where you guys found me?
Right in the middle of that circle.
That's kind of weird.
And I guess as we were walking up, I do light on the end of my quarterstaff and kind of illuminate some of the. There were runes along the rim of it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I go. Can you make sense of any of this here?
I mean, I can certainly try. As she's looking at them, you can see like she's really trying to think hard about it, and I'm sorry, I can't make heads or tails out of this.
And I don't remember how long we looked at it last time. Is it possible that I could take a deeper look at it, or would that be like you've already done it?
You would be able to, except when looking at it, you can see it is not a language that you know. Actually, it's Druidic, Common. Do you know one other, or is it just those two?
I don't think I ever bothered writing that part down. So I probably don't know.
What's your intelligence modifier?
It is 1.
Okay, yeah. I think you need an intelligence modifier of either 2 or I think it's of 2, and then you can pick an extra language. But
Okay.
I mean, it's as time goes on, you'd be able to learn more languages, or like get spells that translate it for you, that type of stuff. But
then I guess in the meantime, since we can't translate it, I take out a piece of parchment and use my chalk to do a quick little rubbing.
okay,
So we can maybe bring it back into town and see if somebody can figure it out.
okay. Feel free to make a note of that so you remember. Let's see.
Closest thing I can get of a photograph.
Photograph?
What's that? Like magic to me.
I look at Jube and I say, these druids are really weird.
Yes, I will own it. So I guess I'm guessing Eleanor is currently just sitting there trying to think at the moment.
Yeah, she's just looking at them, like still trying. See, and she doesn't. It doesn't look like she's gonna remember anything new, but is still trying to focus on it, being like, "Come on, there's got to be something. There's got to be something I can remember."
I kind of turn to Viz. While she's thinking, you want to quickly just check it further up the path, see if there's anything coming this way, just to be safe.
The path towards the goblins.
So it forks off. There's a teleportation room, and then there's like a little hallway past it.
Yeah.
When we ambushed those people last time.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna walk over there
Okay.
stealthily.
Stealth.
Which is why I'm sending you, since you can see in the dark.
Roll a stealth check.
Yeah.
11 plus 9, so
20.
Ooh, natural.
Okay.
Natural 20.
So yeah, you move silently over to the
darkness.
now blown off door from the explosion. It was an old rusted door that got blown through, and on the other side you can still see a bit of the charred remains of the town guard that you found last time. And looking through, you can see that there is a intersection. It's a hallway where there's an intersection. So there are 3 directions you can take from there.
Oh, my lanes have split up.
You're not there.
When will people learn you never split the party?
I can't hear anything or.
That would roll perception check.
Perception. Ooh.
Perception is.
I think it's pretty decent.
Yeah, I think I'm.
It should be pretty high since you have to use it for like detecting traps and that type of stuff.
It's 6. So.
So 19 total.
Listening down the hallway, it is silent.
All right, I head back. Do I get there?
Yeah, you get there fine. You are doing this while they're like looking over the ruins and the circle.
I'm just
that
making
kind of
sure
stuff.
like nothing like snipes me out of nowhere. And
If something happens, I will say it. Continue as normal.
Okay. Hey guys.
Suddenly, no.
Hey guys. So down here, there's just 3. There's a fork with 3 different hallways. Abner, I tried to listen to see if I could hear anything, but it's kind of silent. I don't know. What do you want to do?
I'm just making sure that, while we're here investigating, that nothing jumps us. But if you think it's safe in that direction, we'll just kind of.
From what I can tell,
for a minute.
nothing is there.
As far as
But from what I can't tell, is there could be something there.
I mean, we'll be moving on in a minute when she's ready. So we'll be going back the other way.
And if there
Not
is
listening
anything there, they're very stealthy.
As you're discussing this, Eleonora overhears you and is like, "So yeah, I don't know what this says. I'm sorry, I can't help you on that." You said there's more to this place though, or do we want to go goblin hunting now?
This is the particular area that we found you. The only other area that we've explored is where we ran into all the goblins. So we can go goblin hunting, and then if we clear them out, we can go deeper into the area. That's what I'm thinking. You guys good with that?
Yo, I'm cool as long as we get out of this creepy place. So.
So the other way to the 3 passage.
Plus,
I figured the other way is the way that we've consistently run into bad guys, and this is that's what we're trying to do.
plus, since I met up with you guys, we've always gotten into battles. So why not? Just continue this trend.
Let's do it.
Fight things.
All right.
All right, so you guys head back, and you head back. You're seeing the light from the entrance, and like as you're rounding that, you can see the guards are like, "Wow, you guys are back." Oh no, I see. Go as you're walking. It's like a Y intersection, so they see you walking. They're like, "Man, you guys are already done." You just kind of turn and walk down the other way. They're like, "Oh, okay, back to normal, people. Nothing new." So you guys make your way down there. And at this point, she extinguishes her torch. So you guys are currently in darkness.
All right. Getting ready to drink some potions. No, see. I'm drinking it.
Yeah. So you now have dark vision for 30 minutes, where you can see, basically it's not the equivalent of daylight, but it's close enough. For 60 feet in front of you.
All right.
Or, yeah, for 60 feet.
So, I'm not sure exactly game-wise how it works. But could I split my potions so me and Eleanor could see for 15 minutes each?
Or she could.
I'm not
hold
sure
my
how
hand.
it works, but sure, why not?
Or she could hold my hand.
Ask her. Which do you prefer? She might get a crook in her back reaching down to hold your hand, though.
She goes, I'll take the potion.
So then I just drink half of it, hand her the other half.
She drinks the rest of it.
Alright, let's go forward.
Man, this just looks weird. You guys continue down the way. You get to Viz recognized this since he was there. You get to the end where it basically cuts into another hallway that's then a slant, where it's a slant downwards, and it's a T intersection. But one direction it's collapsed rubble, where it's obscuring the path, where you don't really see an easy way to get through. Like you don't see how deep the collapse is. But the other way is open and it heads in a downward direction.
Let's go.
Yeah. Venture deeper.
All right.
Keep going.
As you get down there, you actually see that there are a few bodies down here. A few goblin, one wolf. You see also some blood, but it's not just goblin blood.
Ooh.
It is of humanoid blood. You can't really tell because of the light, and also because it's blood. Blood is blood. But you know it's not goblin blood because goblins bleed. Or goblin's blood is a different color.
Okay.
And you can see in the distance some remnants of a camp. Sort of like tents that, like, not tents, but like bedding that was just kind of left there. A few campfires that were just kind of left in there have since gone out and have smoldered out, but you could see where it's like collected around.
Just keep working our way in.
Keep working.
I guess, do we need to do like perception check for traps and danger as we walk in?
You can.
Let's do that. That's a good idea.
13 plus is either 6 or 7.
16. 8 plus 8.
Unnatural 20.
All right, so as you are approaching the camp, past the camp, you can see that there's another entrance to a tunnel that continues to go down. And as you're approaching it, you can hear the very faint sound of feet as people are walking.
We shall proceed. With caution.
Does anybody want to take the lead? Someone a little bit on the sneaky side?
Does anyone that's a little shorter, a little bit
Any
sneakier?
objections?
I have no objections. Just a gold coin from each of you, please. I'm just kidding, guys. Let's do it.
You just start charging everybody for everything you do. It's like, that's one gold.
I mean, we'll be right behind you if anything starts going bad.
You better be, because yeah. Anyway,
So, how far back from Viz are you wanting to
10
be?
feet. 10 feet is a good distance. Maybe 20.
I'd probably do it like
So,
around a corner within eyesight is kind of what
okay,
I'd go for.
I guess in game sense,
40 feet.
if something happens where initiative starts, do you want it to be that you're able to get into the fight immediately, or have to spend a turn running to it?
Mm-hmm.
If it's spend a turn running to it, you guys don't have to roll stealth checks. If it is, you guys will still have to roll stealth checks.
guys, I'll be okay for one turn.
Okay.
I mean, I figure a cave is kind of like
Yeah, I mean,
So-
it curves in and around, but it's also, if you guys are close enough to him, you're still going to have to roll stealth check if you're noisy, that type of stuff.
I mean, depending on how constricted and stuff it is. Basically, however far back I need to be to like still at least kind of see him.
Okay.
That's fine.
Okay.
Yo, just make it one turn. If we
I'm gonna say go ahead and roll stealth checks then, but go ahead and add for you two a +2 to it, and then you just do it your
Natural
regular.
20.
And then
Ooh.
Viz, go ahead and just do your
What
regular stealth
the
check.
heck? I'm not even being stealthy.
guys, this may have been a bad idea. Let's just say
A 23 is my stealth.
we're lucky.
Let's just say it's less than 2.
Let's just say that we're lucky. My stealth modifier is what it is, because I rolled a 3, but it's a 13. with
Okay.
my modifier.
All right. I mean, it's better than a 1.
Natural 20 plus 3. No.
Dude, he should have been our
18.
front
Okay.
loader. You guys should have been our front loaders. What?
Okay, so as Viz makes his way down, he's decently quiet. He's still making you can still very faintly hear him. Abner, as you're moving, you like turn around and Jube is just gone. You're like, how can a man that big just what the heck? And Eleanor. Okay. So
She starts screaming, "Where'd you guys go?"
where is everyone? Eleanor is just sticking to you guys. As you're moving down the hallway, you're hearing more of the footsteps, and you then hear that the footsteps stop. What do you want to do?
Perception.
Go ahead.
All of us? Or is it just him?
I mean, I would say just Viz,
Okay.
since he's in the front.
All right. So that's 16.
Okay. You do hear some very faint talking, and it's like at a whisper level.
Can I tell like relative distance?
With how it's echoing in the cave, no, not really.
Okay.
It makes it what seems close can actually be far away, or vice versa. So,
Well, I can. Well, can they see me? Can you guys see me?
They can,
the goal,
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
I see it.
I give a signal like this. Should I go or no?
Yeah, go for it. Well, you can't see me, but
I can see you. Oh wait, I can't see you.
Yeah.
oh, yeah, I still
Can I
do
see
this.
him?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's Jube is like, oh, and
Yeah.
Give me a second. All right, cool. All right, well then I'm gonna start moving forward again.
okay. Go ahead and roll one more perception check as you weave your way down a bit more.
That's a 17.
Okay. As you're coming around one of the corners, you hear that the whispering has completely stopped, and you can see a small spear tip around the next bend. Do you actually slap your hand like that? Because they might hear that.
No, I just go.
Okay.
That means battle. All right, I just look and I say,
I like how that means battle when you could have just been like,
You just had the dagger.
actually, I take it back.
All right.
You say yes or no?
I guess we sneak up or go up to him.
are you guys gonna first try to all basically convene together and then attack, or are you?
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do the
I-
signal
I
of
ca-
go or
I cautiously work up towards you. If you want to like try to sneak attack or something while I'm moving up, that's up to you.
Yeah, I'm down.
might as well.
So you're gonna move up and go for it?
Even
Sneak
though
attack.
they're probably facing you because the spear is poking around the corner. But it's up to you how you want to take it.
So you're gonna move up?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. So you move up. Go ahead and roll one more stealth check.
Natural 20.
A 9 plus 10, 19.
Okay.
Still good. Still good.
You like very slowly inch your way up to the corner, and you are being as quiet as humanly possible. Well, halfling possible. And as you get there, they haven't made a move yet. The spear is still barely around the corner a bit. If you want, you can leap out and begin attacking.
Yes.
Well, how many
Alright.
are there?
So you,
Can I see how many there are?
not around the corner, you can't.
All right, yeah, jump out then.
All right. So
Sneak attack. Can I do that?
yeah, roll to attack.
18.
That's gonna hit.
Ooh.
Awesome. Do I do 2d6?
It's the
1d6.
It's the 1d3
1d3.
Which is your d6 halved.
Yeah. So it's 3.
plus sneak attack damage, which is 2d6.
2.
Uh.
And 5.
So 9 so far.
Yep.
And then plus whatever your dexterity modifier is, since you have weapon finesse. I think it's
Ooh.
4.
It is a Don't try to undercut the 4. All right.
Did I say I was undercutting the 4?
No.
9's pretty good.
Plus 4.
9 plus 13.
That's good.
I have a feeling that creature's not left in this world.
All right, so you leap around. You like get into position and kind of leap around the corner. As you leap around, you throw one of your knives at close range at the target,
Sick.
and you can see, yeah, it's goblins, all right. And there's the goblin that's holding the spear, and the knife just and it just keels over, and you see.
And I make a cool motion while I do it. Sliding in.
While you're making a cool
Like a
motion,
crouching ninja move.
you see that there are 3 other goblins,
Oh, great.
and behind them,
Oh, great.
and you can see that there's a wolf
Oh,
behind
nice.
them.
All right.
So we're right
That was a
there.
lot less than what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be one of the
I mean,
big
it is a
guys.
patrol. It's not like it's that big. With that,
How close are they to me? Is it still 1 turn?
they're at combat range.
Okay.
You crept up to the corner where they were basically waiting for you to
No, I meant
ambush
my
you.
team.
Oh, they would be able to run to get to you. I mean, if
It's
they
still going
want
to take a turn?
if they want to make a range attack, they would be able to. For Jube, it'd probably run up and not be able to attack the first turn.
Okay.
So everybody, go ahead and roll initiative.
Oh, I'm rolling good today.
14.
I'm rolling good. Oh, never mind.
Plus 1, 9.
Why is it plus 1?
Initiative modifier.
I knew that. Mine's 15.
I rolled
I think I have a plus 1. Pretty sure.
23
How the heck did you do that?
because I have my 1 for my dexterity modifier, and 1 of my feats is improved initiative, which gives me plus 4.
Oh, dang.
23. What was yours?
What's my modifier for it? Initiative modifier?
You should have one.
Mine's just 1.
Look at this.
Scroll down a little. Initiative. Go back up. Right there. Initiative.
Oh, plus
So
4. So it's 14 plus 4. 18.
18.
9.
9. And Eleonora. That's not Eleonora's sheet. Okay. And Abner gets to go first.
So if I come up the hallway, which enemies can I draw a bead on?
You have a beat on 2 of the goblins. They're kind of in a staggered formation because they were basically walking a patrol, and one of the goblins, and they heard you guys coming, and it was kind of like, hold.
So one of the goblins and the wolf are obscured,
Yes.
even if I come forward. Okay. In that case, I go. As I come forward, I put my staff away, reach out my hand, and do flame blade.
Okay.
So basically, I get a fire sword in my hand for the next, I believe, 3 minutes.
Sounds right. I know it's got a good amount of time for in a combat.
Not skills, spells.
Flame blade. It's gonna light up the room, man.
And that's the idea. We're no longer being sneaky. Flame blade. One minute per level, so 3. It's a 3-foot-long blazing beam of red hot fire. Springs forth from your hand. You wield it. This blade-like beam as if it were a scimitar.
Okay.
Attacks are melee touch attacks. What's the difference with touch attacks again?
Touch attack, it does not take into account armor.
Okay.
So it's purely dexterity.
And it does 1d8 points of fire damage plus 2 per cast level, so it'll be just plus 1, right? Because I'm odd number level.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah,
1d8
it's
plus 1.
It's the reason for touch attack. It'd be like if you like have shocking grasp and you electrocute somebody. If they're wearing heavy plate mail, that's still gonna go through and he's still gonna get electrocuted.
Yeah.
So that's what touch is.
Okay.
Okay, so you summon. So as
It's
you're
a
running,
standard action, I believe. So that would be my
Yeah. So as you're running up, you say a few druidic words, as then you can see red flame begin to coalesce in your hand, and it shoots out into a blade of fire, and the room begins to illuminate with this orangish yellow glow. Jube, you think it's kind of cool looking.
It's a sword-like beam, which is not a lightsaber. Totally different.
Non-copyright infringing lightsaber. Light scimitar, I should say. It says it has the properties of a scimitar, which if I remember correctly, if it crit, it's 3 times damage.
Okay.
I know it's more than 2. I think it's 3. Okay, so that's your turn. Next up is one of the goblins so he is gonna...
What's his initiative?
19.
Okay.
Goblins are fast little suckers.
I just want to make sure I'm not.
Cheated out.
I got the list right here. He was the
Alright.
first one I rolled. It was a 17 plus 2.
I believe you. I'm not. Let's
You're
go.
just going to be in a world of pain as he charges forward with his spear and attempts to skewer you.
All right, let's try it.
And nope, that's not gonna hit.
That's what I thought.
Not with the 2. Not with the 2.
And just for reference, how far am I in melee range now, or am I still a ways back? Or
You're just barely, you're like right behind. You're behind Viz just a little bit. So next turn you'll be able to run in and start swinging.
okay, so somebody can charge me. I can charge them. All
Yeah.
that stuff. Okay.
So the goblin is a bit surprised by you kind of leaping around and killing the guy in front. So he's and just kind of runs forward at you and kind of, I mean, it's a goblin, so it's not like he's that skilled at it, but it kind of does a thrust that you're just like, really? And just bat it away with your dagger. And now it's your turn.
So I try to attack him.
Go for it. Roll. Are you doing two attacks or
It
one?
doesn't work. So
It fails.
Why?
it was a 3.
Well, okay. So it's a single attack. Just so you know, for using 2 attacks at once, you got to state it beforehand.
Yeah.
So if you want,
No cheating.
it's just.
Oh yeah, I wasn't yet. I'm just kidding.
Okay, so you kind of bat away and you're like, pathetic, and then you throw a thrust, and the goblin is like, that's it, and then parries it with his shaft, with the shaft of his spear. Next up is one of the other goblins who's going to run up and try to attack you as well.
Oh man, you get attacked.
That is a 17.
Does that connect with your AC?
Yep.
All right, so that's going to hit.
Get hit, man.
It's going to do 3 points of damage.
Oh.
I roll so badly for damage. That could do up to 9 damage.
I don't mind.
Like you could have.
I mind though.
It sounds like a quarter of a pound.
It was like everything I had.
You're like, well, I'm unconscious, guys, and almost bled out at this point.
3 damage did that. I'd be like glad my character.
There was one time a long time ago when I was playing, and my level 1 character had 2 HP. That was fun. I died to 1 hits from everything, and I had crappy armor. Moving on. Next on the list is the wolf, who is going to sprint.
That is, of course.
Actually, not. He's going to sprint forward and leap at the giant, non-copyright infringing light,
Giant glowing light right in front of us.
and is going to attack Abner.
He's like a cat with a laser pointer.
That is a 11.
I think that's 1 shy.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah.
All right. So he leaps at you, and you see, I mean, with the light from your blade and your dark vision still working, you see him coming, and he leaps through the air, jaw wide open for you as you just sidestep it and prepare for a strike.
Just kind of hold my sword out. Bad dog. Bad.
Next up is Jube.
Can I go after the wolf?
Sure.
I'm gonna just take a gigantic swing at it.
Okay. You run at it, pulling your great sword out. And just, do you want to rage?
Yeah. How many were there? 2 goblins and a wolf?
3 goblins, 1 wolf.
No.
Okay. You run up in an enraged scream. Go ahead and roll.
Whoops. That was the worst roll ever.
On the table, Jesse.
6 plus.
Six. Plus, what? 4?
Your base attack bonus and then your strength modifier.
6, 10 plus, where's my base attack bonus? 13.
That barely hits.
Yes.
Wolves are much more. They're decently easy to hit, but they got a little bit more health than goblins.
2 of these. 2
Okay.
plus 5.
7 plus 4 from your strength modifier for 11 damage. All right. Next up is the final goblin, who is going to run up and is going to attack Jube because he just attacked his pet. What a jerk. For him, he has a short sword and is going to thrust it at you.
Oh, hopefully hit. Does it hit?
The 21, that's going to hit.
Holy
You take 5 points of damage. She's like, hopefully it isn't going to hit. Yeah, that hits. Dang it! All right, back to the top of the order with Abner.
I guess I look at the wolf. And
It snarls at you.
Well, it's in pain right now.
And I basically do charm animal on it.
Whoa.
You're going to do Charm Animal?
Yeah.
All right.
Wow.
If I remember correctly, it's... I do a will save, is it?
Charm animal. It functions like charm person.
But animal.
So let's look up charm person.
Pretty sure that's then just a will save against it.
It's almost dead though. Why would you want it as a pet?
You can have him attack the goblin.
Charm person.
Summary. Makes one person your friend.
Yeah.
Or we could heal it and keep it as a pet.
It lasts for 3 hours. If
Okay,
it works.
never mind. Let it attack the goblins. And then we will kill it.
Well, it has like 1 HP right now.
Let's see.
I was sliced it open pretty much.
Will negates saving throw.
Okay.
Is that what you need to know?
Yeah. That is... What's the spell DC of it? Is it 13?
Let us find out. Charm animal. 13.
Okay. You say in the druidic language, "Be my friend."
Good doggies.
Good doggy.
Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? You're such a good boy.
As you say that, you see arcane energy flash through the wolf's eyes, and it appears to be not growling at you anymore.
Nice.
Okay. It's a standard action, right? So that'd be then my turn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Next up is the goblin who is attacking Viz. He's gonna take another swing.
All about it.
Hopefully it's not 7 hit. You know, 7 hit points.
He misses with a total of 5.
That's what I thought about.
Actually, it's a total of 6, but still a miss. So you have 2 goblins on you. You're just kind of on the defensive, parrying with both your daggers.
Matrix.
One does a thrust that you don't leap over it, but you kind of jump. It's a low swipe to try to take you out of the legs, and you just kind of jump. You jump, but don't do a flip. You just kind of jump up over it and land after it passes. And it is now your turn.
You better kill those guys.
I attack. Double attack.
Oh.
Roll for attack. Double attack.
The name's attack. Double attack.
What do you got, dude?
What's my modifier again?
It's all of the normal stuff, but after you do all that, subtract 2.
Ooh.
14 plus...
Plus your dexterity and your base attack, right?
Yep.
So that's 4, 5, 6. So... 16. Alright, so it's 18.
It's gonna hit. Roll for damage.
Nice, dude. You can kill him.
D6
Oh,
is a 3. Right? Wait, is it?
It's a D3
Okay,
that you
it's
rolled.
1.
So we rolled a 1 on his D3.
Yeah.
Okay. So 1 damage plus 4 because it's the dexterity bonus.
Yeah.
Now roll for your second attack, and that one isn't gonna get the dexterity bonus.
Oh, so 6.
What?
You're rolling
Oh,
Yeah,
second attack.
roll for an attack. It's the advantage of doing double attack is you basically get to attack. You roll the attack multiple times, so if one misses, the other has a chance to hit.
That's a good one.
Nope. 8, 9, 10.
Okay, that one. So you dig one in, and you can hear a slight yelp as you dig it into the right in the rib cage area, and it kind of jerks to the side a bit as your second thrust is going for it, and it jerks just enough that it throws it off, or it kind of glances off with some leather plating that he has on his shoulder. But you do some damage.
He said doo-doo.
I mean, they are goblins. They aren't known to be the cleanliest. Next up is the other goblin, who is by Viz, who is going to attack.
Oh, Viz.
Dude, I'm getting wrecked right now.
That is a 16.
Nope.
Darn. So he
Barely.
makes another thrust. As you see it coming, you rip your dagger out of the other goblin's rib cage, and as you're ripping it out, you kind of throw yourself to the side, so it narrowly misses your center of mass with the thrust. Then you kind of bat it away, and then you're still maintaining your fighting stance, ready to go.
Nice.
I'm
Next.
pretty much carrying our team right now.
Next up is the doggy.
Yeah, I'm just saying they're putting it on.
Oh.
Next up is the dog. With it, it's just, it acts like your friend, right? It's not, you don't get to command it.
It is treated as a friend and ally. Treat the target's attitude as friendly.
Okay.
If it's currently being threatened or attacked by you or your allies, however, it receives a +5 bonus to it on its saving throw.
Yeah, he wasn't, so you're fine. Nerds, says Jared. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Badge of honor.
So the wolf, having been charmed,
No, he
begins
just
to
messaged.
growl and turns and leaps at the goblin that's attacking Jube. And now I rolled a 20.
Oh, man.
Seriously?
Nat
Does it
20.
crit? It does not confirm though. So it's
Oh.
the bite still goes down, but it's not confirmed. Let me double check the stat for
Did we just kill something with that wolf? Because that would be
1d8.
sick.
We'll see.
Right. So he leaps at the goblin and takes a bite, and it's as he's gonna make a thrust at Jube, the wolf bites the arm that's holding the sword, and he kind of turns like, "What are you doing, you stupid dog?" and starts hitting the dog with like the butt of his sword.
Is this the one that was already injured, or is it the other one?
It's the other one.
Okay.
He is now injured though. Wait, I just realized I did that wrong. I wrote his current health as how much damage I did, not what his actual health is. Next up in the order is Jube.
Alright, I'm going after the one that got bit.
Okay, roll
Slicing down the middle of the waist.
to attack. We doing a rage attack or no?
No.
All right.
He's just not feeling it
Just a
today.
regular, no, no.
So you're preparing to do your swing downward, and you see the wolf come in and bite his arm, and you kind of like chuckle and lose focus for a sec. So you're well, because I mean his dog just bit him. It's kind of funny, and so your swing kind of is off balance, where it just doesn't. It misses. It hits it. Sword clashes against the ground and then just does not connect. Next up is yeah, actually, or no, Eleanor's turn.
Oh.
Because
Where's she been the whole time?
I forgot to have her go last turn.
We'll just say she was a little further back and she had to run up.
So she runs up with sword drawn, and rather than making a slash, goes directly for a thrust, almost like a rapier style, and goes for a stab on the goblin that Jube is fighting. And that is
Kill him.
That barely hits because you are considered flanking, or he is considered flanked. So that's going to connect. That is going to
He's
do.
dead. That thing is dead. 100%.
It's a long sword, so that is that. That's cocked. Okay. That is. All right. Goes through the thrust, connects on the other arm as you see that it's not a deep wound. It kind of glances against the arm, but slices a nice cut just across the muscles there. And now we go back to the top of the order with Abner.
So there's 2 goblins left? Or
There are still 3 goblins left.
3.
2 of them are decently injured, though.
Yeah.
Where Viz is fighting 2, and then there's the one that Jube, Eleonora, and your friend the wolf are now fighting.
You should probably kill that one too.
just gang up on him, just wreck him.
Yeah, and leave Viz by himself.
I'm handling myself just fine.
I think I rushed towards,
It's like 2 hits, though, and you are fine. No.
depending on the attack lanes and stuff, I rush at basically the healthiest one and just try to get him with my flame swords.
Yeah, you'd be able to reach the one that hasn't been touched yet. Go ahead and roll to attack.
10
Nice.
plus not a ton, I don't think. But it's a touch attack, right? So that should help. Strength modifier of 1.
11. And wasn't it when using the sword you get a base attack bonus?
Oh wait. Yeah. What was it good? Sword. Spells. Good. I think it's for damage, so you don't get it. You might.
Flame Blade. Okay, yeah, it's your strength and your base attack bonus.
Yeah. So I rolled 10 plus 3, so 13.
That with the touch attack is good enough to hit.
Oh, that
So
flame
1d8 plus 1.
Getting charred up.
And it's plus an additional 1 for each
You
level.
won't see that goblin anymore.
Nothing.
So that'd be 3.
Total? Or as you roll?
I rolled a 2.
Okay.
And then it's plus 2 plus 1 per 2 caster levels.
Okay.
So that's 3. And it can ignite combustible materials, but I don't know.
He's wearing more like it's
I'm guessing it's armor where
it's like cured leather, so it's not.
so it's fairly resistant.
Yeah, it's not like he's wearing like cloth or something that just.
It's not like, it's not like his shirt's made of flash paper. You know?
Yeah, no, not like that. Okay.
He's dead for sure.
But yeah, so you run up and you just take a swing at him, and the flame you just see it connects, but since the blade isn't a physical blade, it is a immaterial blade. It passes through him, but you can see where the blade passed through. It's just like charred marks all through. So we are now
Viz took him on
to the one that you didn't attack but is fighting Viz, who is gonna attempt to attack Viz one more time.
Do it, bro.
Shit.
Dare you.
Yeah, that's gonna hit with a 21.
Ooh, I dared him and he did it.
Oh, he did it.
Hopefully it's not,
4 damage.
double. Dude, that's like most of your health.
Let's just say.
I feel like it's gonna be every single fight. You're just gonna be like, dang man, you took 3 damage. That's like 3/4 of your health.
Let's just say
Two
it was
damage, man.
it was
Can you take
quite
that? I don't know.
quite a hit. That's for sure.
Dang.
All right, so yeah, he comes in. You get slightly distracted by the flaming sword as you're like,
Oh, Viz.
that is actually pretty cool looking. As then the spear comes in and glances you right at not where the joint is, but like just past it, and you feel it grind against your collarbone, and then you kind of pull back a bit, and then you can have your turn.
Double attack.
Get that guy.
On which one? The one that.
just attacked me.
Okay.
He's angry.
He's like, I start raging.
16.
Ooh,
That's
a
gonna
good
hit.
one. Nice.
Not yet.
So it's a D3 plus your dexterity modifier.
6.
Oh.
So it's a
God.
3.
4. Or 3 plus 4, so 7.
Okay. Roll for your second attack.
You're gonna
7. 6. So 13.
That one will barely miss.
Okay.
So your first attack, you take a step back, but then you realize you're in a good position to lunge forward again with your daggers. So you lunge, with your offhand, bat away the spear, and then make your thrust and with your first dagger, and you plunge it right into the diaphragm area. And since you bat it away with your offhand, you then try to make an attack, but it's not really effective with that one. But as also you're making an attack, you realize Goblin's gone kind of limp. As you pull the dagger out, he just slumps to the ground, bleeding profusely from the chest wound.
You guys got him.
Got him. Next up is the goblin that just got cut by Abner, so he's going to attack Abner.
Ooh, Abner.
That's what I'm talking about.
That
Not attacking me.
is a 10, so that's not going to hit.
Miss.
Next up is the wolf, who is going to continue to bite his former master. That's not so. He kind of lets go for a sec to go in for a bite a little bit up the arm, but during that time, since he's hitting him with his sword, he lets go and then kind of shoves the wolf back, and the wolf isn't able to get a bite in. Now it is Jube's turn.
I'm gonna go hit up Liz over there. Well, not hit him. The goblin next
You just walk up.
goblin next to Liz.
Okay. The goblin gets to make an attack of opportunity against you.
Sick.
That is a 12, which I think with your... Cause
What? I'm 14. 13.
it's 13 unless you use your buckler, right? Since you buy a buckler or something?
13.
Okay. So 12, it misses. Okay.
I do that buckler one time.
I know you bought like a shield of
I
some
don't think
sort.
I've used it once. Though.
Well, it's basically if you don't use a two-handed weapon for a turn, you then get a +2 to your AC for however long until you use a two-handed weapon. But anyways, go ahead and make an attack.
I'm gonna say Abner, not Abner. Viz. 6, 4, 16
16?
plus 3.
So 19?
Yeah.
Yeah, that hits.
Alright, let's see.
Save is a
I'm about to save you, Viz.
save is a lightly used term.
There's 3. I'm saving you right now. 5. Plus a 1.
That wasn't a 5.
4
Yeah, your
plus
strength, right?
another
Oh,
4, so 8. I mean, the one that Viz was just fighting died. So it would be the one that just attacked Abner, I guess.
Shoot. Yeah.
Which is fine. You do 7 damage. Okay.
A respectable amount.
He is preoccupied with fighting Abner, where you just kind of come in and you're just like, hello, whack, and just come down hard on him. Your swing was, the edge alignment of your sword was a little bit off, so it doesn't actually cut that deep into him, but just the sheer force of your sword coming down, it's not his legs buckled, but he definitely kind of like fell down to his knees. He's like, and then stood back up and is able to still fight.
What the flip?
Next up is Eleonora, who is going to attempt to finish that one goblin, and that's going to hit.
Yes.
Why do I roll so bad on damage? She deals 3 damage with the minimum amount. That's the minimum she can do. Next up is the goblin, who's going to attack.
Wait, what? I thought that guy was dead.
No, Eleanor just attacked him. He's angry at the wolf. He's going to take a swipe at the wolf for disobeying his orders.
Man. Good call.
And he critically fails. So he's like, "You stupid dog," and goes for a swing, and the wolf doesn't just dodge it. He like is in the process of attempting to bite and actually bites the blade, and then it's like and rips the blade out of his hand. So he is disarmed.
I wasn't expecting to have a wolf with a sword in this fight.
Oh shoot.
I mean, the wolf kind of like grabbed it and kind of like as it got jerked away, he kind of lost the grip on it. So you just hear ting 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 as the blade falls. Next up is top of the order with Abner.
Finish him off, Abner.
So how many goblins?
2 goblins left. 1 is disarmed. 1 is looking pretty bad. Actually, they both look pretty bad.
I go with the armed one.
Nice.
12.
That's gonna hit.
Okay.
You need with touch attack. You need a +1, which.
Done.
9 damage.
Done for.
So you turn to him and you're just like, your end has come. And you just take a swing and it just goes right through the neck area and goes down, and you just see this like the burn from the swing begin to not just be like, you know, 2nd, 3rd degree burn, that type of stuff. It blackens all of the skin there, and the goblin just begins.
And then, as it comes, like, I pause it, like, over his heart, I kind of lean in. This is for Dorian. And I just shove him off.
So as you shove him off, you see that where his heart was is now just a bored out hole with surrounding it charred flesh as he falls off your sword. Yeah, he's dead. He's very, very dead. Next up is... Yep, Viz.
So there's a guy.
There's the unarmed goblin, and then there's the wolf. But the wolf...
The wolf is currently fit.
You should go for the unarmed goblin.
So should I go for the wolf guys? Just kidding. I go
If
for
you
the
want to pet the wolf,
goblin.
Okay, roll the attack.
And some 1 attack.
Okay.
Ooh, 1 attack this time, huh?
You're like, I should have done a double.
10.
That's not going to hit.
Hey guys, I helped out. I did my job.
Next up is the wolf. That's not going to hit. For expedience sake, Eleanor is going to take a swing. That's going to hit. And Eleanor gets the killing blow.
What the heck? This is my turn before Eleanor.
Oh yeah, you're right. It is.
But I'll
Do you-
take it.
Okay.
You're like, after you, my lady.
So you see fear in the goblin's eyes as everything is coming crashing down around him. He begins to like turn and bolt, and then all of a sudden you just see the sword through the neck.
I'm not laughing at that.
And then
You shouldn't be laughing at that.
rather than pulling it straight back out, Eleanor cuts it to the side. So now there's just kind of like 1 or 2 tendons on that side as the head falls aside and it just keels over dead. Yeah, so the goblins are down.
As the fight ends, I basically walk up to him. Who's the good boy? Who's the good boy?
The wolf, you can see he has a few like splotchy patches in his fur. Like it's obvious he's not that well taken care of because he's a wolf in a goblin camp. But he's happy with the fact that you're like petting him and that type of stuff.
I'm guessing he looks a little worse for wear from the fighting.
Yeah, that's him up.
Yeah, he's got a gash in his side.
I did.
So are we ready to take the fight?
Why?
Further in?
Let's have the wolf go further into the.
This is what I'm thinking. So I'm gonna since it lasts for like 3 whole hours, I'm gonna cast Cure Light Wounds on the wolf,
Ooh,
Okay.
Nice.
and then I'm gonna go, hey buddy, let's go home. So 7 was it +1? I think. What was it? Cure Light Wounds. plus 1 per level, so that'd be 10.
Oh
Okay.
gosh, that's good.
You see, as you cast that, you see that the wound just stitches itself back together and begins to close. And you can see there's still a red mark from it, but the skin has sealed it. It's not fully healed though.
Okay.
Has more HP than Biz though.
So does everyone.
The average town person might not.
That's true.
So then,
Thank you for the 1 bit, Jared.
so then I'm thinking, okay, guys, what do you think about this plan? We have, I guess, Fido, T-Bone. What's his name?
Fido, for sure.
So we have Fido take us back to his home. We hang back a little bit. They say hi to the wolf. Wolf starts biting their face off, and we charge in.
Wow, that's a good idea.
That's a great idea.
Okay.
If the wolf dies, it doesn't matter.
The wolf. heard
Poor
that.
Fido. That's so heartless of you, Jube. All right, so you have the wolf go first, and as the wolf is going, you come to the next divergence of path.
Okay.
Down one, you see one that it's a short tunnel, and then there's a hole in the ground.
Oh no.
The wolf continues and goes the other way though.
Oh,
To the left or to the right?
To the left.
to the left, to the left,
Taking notes in case we need to come back later.
to the left.
Left to the left.
Okay, we follow it.
Okay. As you follow the wolf, you go down about another. You go about another 50 yards or so down in elevation. As you then begin to see an old rotted structure of a mine shaft. It's a mine shaft, but you can see there's like old rotted wooden beams that were used as supports, but have long since rotted and lost their structural integrity. That type of stuff. You see a few rocks here and there, but it's not like in the process of collapsing.
I guess as we walk by, I inspect it to see if we were to ignite it, would that collapse the tunnel?
Roll a
Knowledge of Arcania.
do a knowledge engineering check.
Which is it?
Probably not, because it's 5.
I have 0 on that one.
I have negatives. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't even know why I'm checking because it's going to be so low.
I have 0.
4.
Ooh, that's nice.
So as you take a look at it, it's really being a druid. Especially a fire druid, you're like, I mean, it'll burn, but with how rotted it is, and it probably wouldn't burn that well. And I'm not sure if you can't really get a sense of the stone above the wood to tell whether or not it would buckle under its weight. Or under the disappearance of the support.
So I guess it's a maybe it could, maybe it couldn't, but I figure if we can clear out the goblins, we don't need to just hit the tunnels any more than we normally would. But, okay.
Okay. The wolf actually is continuing down into the mine shaft.
Let's keep going, guys.
We're far now.
This is far. It's like too many lefts and too many rights.
So you continue following?
Yeah, I'm going.
Yep.
Okay. I would like you to all roll a perception check.
Sorry. Oh no.
Hey, you cursed me.
Oh no. Don't roll 3 Alex.
With my modifier, it
12.
Oh,
is
perception.
10.
Oh, I have 11.
Okay.
No, 9. 11.
You're moving past, or you're moving up to the wolf, and you see that the wolf actually, his leg snags on something. And there's a rope there. His leg snags on it, and and then pulls, and you hear, and then one of the wooden beams collapses and falls towards the wolf, who does not dodge out of it in time and goes
Oh,
boom right onto the wolf.
Fido!
that could have been us.
Taking
Is it dead?
not dead, but
Not alive.
pretty badly injured. As this it's a singular wooden beam from the ceiling just collapses down onto the wolf, falls onto its back, and you hear, as it falls, but then the wolf kind of like pushes it off of him and then gets up and is kind of like limping a bit, but is still mobile.
It's a good idea. That could have been us. Hopefully.
No, because... Well, yeah, it could have been.
I mean, we all failed our
Yeah.
our vision. I guess.
Which I didn't get a modifier because I have dark vision.
That gives you a
You just don't have
that
a
prevents
penalty.
you from getting a penalty. It's if you're doing it in the dark, you would then get a -4 or a -6, something like that.
Okay.
Basically, if you're trying to detect something in the dark and you can't see, it is really hard to detect it. And also, detecting trap rolls are pretty high as is. Because they're trying to be hidden with it. So as you begin to enter the shaft, you see, it's a few different tunnels, and the wolf continues on, but as you're walking past, you see a small carved out room just to the side where it looks more like an office rather than like an extra tunnel. But the wolf continues down the tunnel path that you were already going.
Well, it looks like someone's gonna have to check that out, right? I will do it.
Okay.
I'm gonna check it out.
Do we just let the wolf keep going?
Yeah,
or-
the wolf is still going as is right now.
Tell him to stop. I'll just catch up to you guys.
I can hand him the necklace.
I figure we're gonna have to come out the way we came in, where we can look at it on the way out, since it doesn't seem like this is their main hideout, because the wolf isn't leading us to it, unless you think otherwise.
Give me a necklace just in case.
No, I'm not going to give it to you just in case.
Why?
It was a lot of money.
I'm gonna check it out anyways.
All right.
You want the necklace? Give me 75 gold and you can have the necklace.
On the table, Jesse.
That's why I bought it, because I knew that no one else had the money for it. This could go bad, but...
Wow, party politics just took a really weird turn. Okay, so you enter the room. Go ahead and roll a perception check to see what you see.
6
Yep.
plus 8.
So there are a lot of cobwebs. You do see, however, there is a table in the center, and there are some papers on it, but there's a very thick layer of dust across it.
I got the papers.
Okay. On the table. So you take the papers, you shake the dust off of them, brush it off to get a good look at it, and you see at the bottom there's an insignia. Go ahead and roll a knowledge history check.
Don't have that at all, but we'll find out. 7.
Yeah, you don't really recognize the insignia. You do. It's like, it looks like it's, like, it's not just like someone hand drawn stuff. It looks like it's like it was stamped on there, but as to what it is, you can't tell.
I'm gonna take it and put it in my pocket.
Okay. And just for reference, the rest of it you can see is a map, but it's a little hard to determine what the map is of.
Is there anything else?
Um.
Or just a perception check?
Well, you already did the perception check, and it was a 14. Looking around, there's a lot of cobwebs, a lot of dust, that type of stuff. So there isn't really much else that you're finding.
All right, I'm gonna run back to the people's
Okay.
sprinting.
Hanging out there doing that didn't take you long, so you're able to catch back up before they come into the next opening. As you're approaching the opening, Abner and Viz, go ahead and roll perception checks.
14.
22.
Okay. Both of you hear sounds of life just down the hallway, just down like into the next opening. And Abner, you hear the sound of a wolf as well. But this wolf sounds a bit bigger.
I should go first.
Are you with us?
No.
So the wolf that you said to, hey, go home.
Let's go home.
He just continues walking in, and you hear, what's the little mutt doing back? Where's his patrol? Is there anything you want to do, or wait till Jube gets back?
Is the wolf going to attack on its own?
I mean, the last orders he had was to walk up and then attack.
So I figure I just kind of lie in wait around the corner, like where if the wolf attacks, I can cast a spell type of thing.
Okay. As the wolf is walking up, you begin to notice that your vision is starting to go dark. And
Are they in a camp or anything where they have light, or are they just sitting there in darkness?
you do see that there is some light coming around the corner it is coming from that room, but your vision itself, like in terms of like
Return
around,
to normal.
yeah,
Shoot. So
it's the effects of your potion have
Wait, no.
worn off.
Mine is halved, yeah.
So is that one Shoot.
Have
I figure something's about to go down where we can light the place back up.
Well, I also have the thingy.
Mm-hmm. The thingy. I like it.
The necklace of illumination.
Since I can attack from a distance, is there anything you want to do as the wolf is?
Can I stealth?
You can attempt to, yeah.
Nice. Dude.
Wait, let me check my stealth real quick. Check my stealth modifier real quick. It's a 12.
Okay. Let's see.
That still good.
This nice modifier you got there.
Everyone in the room sees you.
They just see me like tiptoeing.
They're all looking at the wolf as it's limping into the room, and then they see a smaller humanoid kind of like as the wolf's about halfway into the room, halfway to them. They see a halfling kind of like come out from around that and like tries to quickly dart to the side, and they're like, "We got company!"
Oh, we're in
and
trouble.
as you're peeking around, you do see there are have on the sheet.
Guys, I should have taken a potion before I did that.
Oh, I have one potion. I'm removing this. Bark skin.
There are two larger goblins,
Oh, great.
one of which you recognize,
Oh.
I want to go for him.
and you recognize them for more than one reason.
Oh gosh, why?
There's something hanging from his neck, slowly swinging back and forth. It's the head of Dorian. And he goes, "I see you've come to enjoy our little home of darkness here. Well, come at me then, you fools!" And draws a great sword off of his back.
Because I might die if I go for this.
And then along with it's then another goblin that's of similar size, but is not anywhere near as well armored. He pulls out two swords. And then behind them, you see another wolf. But this wolf is quite a bit bigger than our friend Fido here.
Shoot, yeah. Rage.
Some may say it is a dire wolf. Let the fight begin.
My gosh.
Let's roll for initiative, shall we?
You only got me 20 up. I got 15.
What's the bonus again?
19.
It should be +4 for you.
Yeah. So I'm looking at a little bit of a plus
20 action.
Well, 17 action.
I get a little 19 action.
Dang.
So 19, 17,
13.
13.
We're about to get some good initiative, man. Some good initiatives.
Yeah, except for
I'm going after
Dorian's killer.
Dorian's killer.
I think I want to do that too, but
So
I kind of want.
I'm doing direwolf thing.
I kind of want to do a little potion action before I get up in.
Oh shoot, I should do that too. No, you want to do that? I'll go after.
You and your potion
direwolf.
actions.
What?
You guys and your potion actions. I gotta get on some potion action.
Yeah, dude. Get your lady.
What?
No comment. I just want to picture it's like Viz thinks he's got some mad game, and then everyone he talks to is just like, no, I'm good.
Guys, I do got mad game.
Hungry.
She knows I got mad game. She's aware.
No, still telling you.
You do that.
I'm talking the right one. I'm going after direwolf. You go after Viz's killer. You go after.
Well, I mean, we could have 2 wolves on our team.
I like the way you think.
I mean, I'm not sure if he's harder to control than the others.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
We can give it a shot.
You know what I'm gonna say, guys?
Okay.
My knees are weak. My arms are heavy. There may be vomit on my sweater.
Boo this man. Jube, you're up first.
All right. Does drinking a potion takes it? Is that?
It's a standard action.
It provides an opportunity of attack.
You wouldn't be able to attack.
You can move, but you can't attack or do a spell or anything like that.
Yeah.
I'm doing some bark skin action.
Okay.
Right now.
I'm assuming as you're running in, you're just like standing out in the mine shaft, like, all right, we gotta fight.
I'm running and
All right,
drinking at the same time.
let's stretch out. Let's get ready.
I'm running and drinking, chugging at the same time.
All right, so you chug it. As you're running, you begin to feel the skin on your arms begin to harden, and you get a bonus 2 to your AC.
Yeah.
Right? It's plus 2 for bark skin, right?
I think that's what it was.
Okay. Pretty sure it's a plus 2 natural bonus. So you get a plus 2 AC. It will last for 5 minutes. It'll last for your reference, it'll last for 5 minutes, which in battle terms is
Forever.
50 turns. So a long time.
No, it doesn't really work. I'm raging at the same time as well. So I'm drinking, chugging, and raging.
That potion is
You wouldn't be able to rage, but you would be able to rage as you're making your attack next turn.
So basically, I'm at 13.
that potion.
Except this turn you're at 15 because you aren't able to rage at the same time.
That potion is subpar because my spell version has 10 minutes per level.
Who knows? It could be wasn't as powerful a potion, or it was diluted, or something like that.
I mean, it's long enough, probably.
Next up is Viz.
All right. Well, if you take a potion, it promotes an opportunity of attack, right?
But they aren't next to you.
They aren't.
Only, yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna do.
You like kind of round the corner into the room that they're at, and they're like, "There's a guy, let's get him!" type of thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna use a potion. So what do I roll?
It is a D6 plus 2.
You better cut his neck off, bro.
5.
Is that the plus 2 with the plus 2 or
Yeah.
okay? So you heal 5 points of damage.
I'm just picturing you just get spotted in the middle of nowhere. Or out of nowhere. Like, wait, guys, wait. Okay, I'm ready.
You like throw the flask onto the ground. It shatters. You're like, bring it on.
Yeah, basically.
Next up is the direwolf, who is gonna leap into action and charge straight at Viz.
Ooh, did that wolf likes you?
He's gonna leap at you and attempt to bite you. That is a 12, which is gonna miss.
It would have hit me.
Not me. You got a little crush on you with the die.
Where? I wrote down the stats for these guys outside of.
I have one crush, and she's denied me every time.
Your mom?
Your mom.
Well, I mean, he thinks his mom's dead, so. Next up is in initiative order is the Hobgoblin. That is not the one that killed Dorian. He is going to charge forward, but isn't able to move as fast as the wolf, so he is able to reach Viz, but not able to attack Viz. Next in the order is Abner.
I go sit, stay, and try to charm animal on the direwolf.
All right. Dire Wolf makes will save. All right. As you say that, you see the arcane energy flicker through the wolf's eyes, as then the wolf and it doesn't take effect.
Ooh. I'm gonna have to
Rolled a 17, so
don't do it again. I'm gonna have to kill it.
I got this. Don't worry about it.
okay. Next up is Eleonora, who is going to surge forward, drawing her sword and making an attack at the. We'll say she attacks the Hobgoblin. It's gonna go for a thrust.
Nice.
That is either just enough or just barely not enough. That is just enough. So that's going to connect, and she's going to do
19 points of damage.
7 points of damage.
That's still pretty good.
Okay. Next up is the Goblin Boss,
Oh shoot.
who is going to walk forward, going, I slaughtered your friend. What makes you think that you people have any chance against me?
Well, he was pretty weak, so.
I didn't even break a sweat. You guys think you stand any chance?
You looked a little sweaty. You smell from here, bro.
Roll a deception check.
Deception? Is there any, modifiers to that?
Charisma.
My charisma, which is a 3. So that's a 18.
Oh, well, it's pretty good.
Goes. He's still strolling up towards you. It's the life of a goblin.
I'm just saying, man.
I don't care. I will just add you to my fine collection.
Maybe I'll add you to mine.
Ooh, diplomacy.
Ha!
As he says that, I shout, your collection looks a little small.
I'm willing to increase its size. And with that, that's the end of his turn. He's basically walking into combat.
We kind of monologuing, guys.
Well, he wasn't.
Yeah,
in
we've
range.
got a role play, bro.
Back to the top of the order with Jube.
Alright.
You've
Dude,
run
you
in
better
your
cut
bark
this
skin.
guy in half.
I start raging while I'm running.
Wait, did you just go Super Saiyan?
And then I'm gonna go.
He's Hulk down.
No, that's at later levels.
Okay. Kamehameha him,
Go for
bro.
that dire wolf.
Okay.
Yo, what are you...
And what?
I talk a big game. I'm not ready to back it up.
All right. Roll to attack.
No,
gosh,
you
I'm
power
dead.
attack as well.
Okay.
Oh man, this thing's gonna die.
Yeah, you probably gonna kill him.
Ooh,
18.
18.
It's gonna connect.
-1. So
That's gonna connect.
sick. All right, what do I do?
So it's your same attack, same damage as normal, but then add up an additional +2 to it.
Okay.
And a +2 because you're raging.
Alright,
So it'd be a +4.
2
Okay.
plus 5
Okay.
plus 4 plus 4. Right?
Yeah, so 15 damage.
And that thing's dead.
Not even close.
Gosh dang it.
You come down with a swing, yelling in rage. As your blade hits it, it does cut in, but for how much rage you have, how much fury and how much momentum you had, it didn't cut in nearly as much as you thought it would. And then you pull it out, and you just kind of see the muscles and stuff of the wolf, but they're damaged. But it's not like it was a clean cut through or anything.
I think I have to do more damage next time.
Yeah.
It's like I have a solution. It's called more damage.
That's quite the solution you got there.
Damage was good. Use a little bit more of it.
All right. Next up is Viz.
You best believe you know who I'm attacking.
The boss.
Yeah.
All right.
All
The
right.
boss man.
This is a pretty ballsy move.
Yes, it is.
The real question is 1 dagger or 2 daggers?
Double the dagger.
Okay.
Ooh, man, I like doubles. Ooh, that's pretty good.
12.
That is not going to hit.
Probably has like a 19.
JK. Alright, it's just not gonna hit.
You run forward, go for the attacks, and he just with his greatsword slaps one of your daggers away from the attack, where the force behind it throws you off balance, where you don't even get a chance to make a second strike.
You got lucky.
Where like the strength from it causes you to stumble to the side a bit, but then you kind of spin around and just bring it on.
Oh no, I said he got lucky. That's
Alright.
all I say.
You got lucky.
Next up is the direwolf, who, being angry that someone just took a swing at him, is going to attempt to...
Did our wolf ever do anything?
He ran up, attacked Viz, and missed. Oh, your wolf.
Yeah.
No, he did not. He's going to attack the boss. We'll see how this goes.
Critical hit.
That's actually barely hit, considering Viz is giving him flanking bonus. So, that is...
That's good.
Alright.
Viz and Fido, dynamic duo.
Yep.
Alright. So, you're like, you got lucky, and he turns to you, like, chuckles at you as the wolf comes, the wolf comes from the side and just, like, bites him on the shoulder, kind of swings around, and, like, comes down on the other side, like, growling at him. And he's just like, you stupid dog. Next up is back to the actual initiative order with the direwolf, who's going to attack Jube.
Mm-hmm. Better not.
That is a... Where?
Wait, lose some damage. I'm 27 right now. Oh, I got 2. Wait, I got how much extra?
You got your +2 armor.
Plus 2 to armor. Ooh, plus 2 to health actually.
That is a 10, so that is not going to hit.
Oh, wait. When raging, I get plus 2 to HP or 4?
You get an additional +2 per level, so it'd be +6.
6.
It's your Constitution goes up by 2. Your Constitution bonus goes up by 2. So then it's every level you would get an extra 2 HP. So if you're like at level 10, when you rage, you get an extra 20 HP.
Well, I'm at 33 health points right now.
So the direwolf misses with a 10. As he leaps at you and makes a bite, you step out of the way and just prepare another strike.
Ooh, he's gonna get it this time.
But
He's gonna get it.
we go to Abner.
Uh,
Actually, wait, sorry. The Hobgoblin is before. Hobgoblin goes next. He's going to turn around and attack the wolf. The charmed wolf, not the dire wolf.
Fido.
Yeah. He's going to take a swing. That is going to hit, I believe.
Ooh, I think that thing's dead.
Yep, that's barely going to hit. But it was with 1 attack because I didn't specify. That is 6 damage. The wolf is still standing, but he is definitely bloodied. All right. Now it is your turn, Abner.
So who's currently fighting him?
Viz and the wolf are engaged with the goblin boss. The hobgoblin is attacking the side of the wolf, and then Jube is fighting the dire wolf. Eleonora ran in and took a stab at the hobgoblin.
We have many choices.
Yes, I do. I guess to kind of even the fights, I will.
Give me Mark Skin again.
You can't double cast it.
I will cast to use at my second level 2 slot. I will do Flame Blade again.
Okay.
And charge at the dual sworded guy.
Okay. You're at close enough range. We'll say you can make an attack.
Oh.
6, which I doubt is.
Yeah, that's not going to be enough. So you summon it, and as you take a swing, you're still trying to get used to the spell. So it doesn't fully materialize by the time you take your swing. As you throw the swing, it just doesn't have any effective damage on the goblin.
Some cinders land in his face. He's like,
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Next up is Eleonora, who's going to take a swing at the hobgoblin. That's going to hit.
Yes.
It's going to be 6 damage.
That's not that much. That's not bad.
I mean, she's using a longsword. It's not, and she's not ripped or jacked up like Jube is. It's not. She's not on steroids. Next up is the goblin boss, who is.
Again. Dialogue. One more time.
He's gonna take a swing.
Where is he later?
I'm like not sure why this is even questionable.
He's gonna turn around and he's gonna take a swing at the wolf.
Oh.
He's gonna because the wolf is the one who did damage.
Oh.
Because you didn't actually hurt him at all. He doesn't see you as a threat yet.
You want to attack a pet? That shows your manliness.
Oh boy. You say that and he just goes, I don't have any pets, and just swings his greatsword down.
Chops his neck off. Oh.
Bisects the head.
Hey man, I was just
And the
saying
wolf-
things, man.
And the wolf
Things
simply
just come out of
collapses
your
to the
mouth
ground.
sometimes.
He turns back around to you and he goes, where were we at?
Well, you see, you chopped a wolf in half. It thought it was cool, but really, it was really wimpy, and I could do that in my sleep. So, bring it.
You haven't done anything yet, you pathetic worm. And with that, we go back to the top of the order with Jupe.
Alright, that's wolves. I'm gonna try to
Wait,
chop-
did I miss my turn?
Nope.
No, you attacked,
Oh, yeah.
and you missed.
I'm trying to chop this wolf's head off this time for real.
Okay.
Here we go. Here goes nothing. Plus power attack.
Okay.
And I got a 10 plus 4 plus 3. Right?
Strength modifier,
Yeah, plus 3. And,
plus 2 from raging,
oh, plus 2.
plus then whatever your base attack bonus is.
Yes. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 18.
And then minus 2 because of the...
16.
Or minus 1 because of the power attack, so 17.
17.
Which is going to hit. So go ahead and roll damage.
Dude, you better wreck this guy.
2. Plus 2. Plus 4.
So 8.
8. And plus 2 more, right? Plus the damage.
Or the power attack or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, it's 4 because of your strength modifier, an additional 2 because of rage, and then 2 because of power attack.
Yes.
So it's a plus 8.
Yes.
So
4.
12 10.
So it's 16.
12 total.
Total.
Because he rolled 4 with the dice.
Okay.
So it was 4 plus 4 plus 4, basically. Right? I didn't do that math wrong?
Yeah.
Okay. Whack! The wolf is still standing. You can see, though, that this swing, you hit on the
Ow,
other
bro.
side, and he's bleeding more. Like, the wound went deeper, and there's more blood pouring from it, but that wolf is still up and about.
Alright.
That has a lot of HP.
It's a dire wolf. Those things are nasty. There's a reason that they're called dire. Next up in the
It's looking
order
pretty dire for that wolf.
is
You know
Viz.
what I'm saying?
Viz, you are up.
Viz.
Alright.
Turn the pieces, bro.
So, what is distracting attack?
When you use it, you give him then, I believe it's a -2 to AC until your next turn. It's essentially, actually, it's in the core rulebook, not this one. It's essentially, it makes it easier for other people to hit, where you're basically distracting him, where he's not as focused on defending against other attacks.
That's all I needed to know.
I'm pretty sure. I can double check. I mean, is that what you're wanting to do?
Yeah, I just wanted to know. Well, not yet.
Because I mean, if it's to use it, it's still a regular attack. So I mean, I'm assuming you're planning on attacking.
Yes.
So you can roll to attack.
Oh, nice.
17, not including modifiers.
Yeah, that's gonna hit.
No, man.
I'm looking up the distracting attack. It looks like it has to be part of a sneak attack.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Then can't use it.
Nope.
Wait. It's hard to tell if that's like a requirement or if that's just part of the flavor text. A rogue with this talent can make sneak attacks with subtle flourishes that disorient and distract her enemy. When she hits a creature with a melee attack that deals sneak attack damage. Yeah, it has to be sneak attack. So
Okay.
you can just do regular
How much
attack.
damage do like with a regular stab? How many times do I roll? Just twice.
It's the D3 plus your dexterity modifier,
Okay.
and that's it. Because you don't have sneak attack.
Okay.
So that's 3 plus.
Plus 4.
So 7 damage. Okay.
Not bad.
Did some serious
A little throat
damage.
punch.
You're a halfling. You can't get up to his throat, really. Like, I mean, he's taller. He's about as tall as Jube, if not a little bit taller.
Going right for his kneecaps.
Yeah, you get him like along the thigh, where it's a pretty decent guy. It's not like you severed major tendons or anything, but it's a good clean hit.
Cool. Guys, he's gonna attack me now.
Next up is the dire
Avenge my
wolf,
death.
How much?
who's going to attack
How
Jube.
many hit points?
How much did you do damage?
I did 7.
Ooh. Nice.
That is a 14 to hit you, Jube.
What?
Dire wolf is attacking you with a 14.
Oh.
Pretty sure that's a hit because you're raging.
Yeah, 50 plus into it.
So he is going to do. He's going to do 12 points of damage as his jaws just clench down on you.
12 points, and that's like almost half.
That's enough to knock out Viz.
Let me put it this way. The minimum amount of damage that a direwolf can do with an attack is 7 if it hits. Like, these things hurt.
Oh my.
Direwolves are scary things.
Shoot.
So he clamps down on your arm, and it's just you feel a searing pain come through, and it is clamped on, but then it just releases and like takes a step back and is just preparing to lunge at you again.
Ooh, I'm 21 health now.
Next up in the order is
Yikesies, man. I need your help, Viz.
We have the
the
same amount of health now. I have full
is
health.
the hobgoblin, who is going to he's gonna turn around and take a swing at Eleonora since the wolf is now dead. That is gonna miss badly. So the hobgoblin takes his sword, takes a swing with it, and Eleonora parries it, and the way she parries it, she basically flings the sword into the way of the other sword that's coming in for an attack. So basically stifles the attack where he doesn't even get a chance for his second attack since he has 2 swords. Next up is Abner.
I guess I just go at the dual sword guy again with my
Okay.
flaming sword.
All right,
Flaming
18.
sword.
that's gonna hit. With touch, that's definitely gonna hit.
Damage. 5 plus 1.
6 damage. Okay. you take a swing and it goes through his arm. It like goes down his arm a bit and a little bit into his side before he is able to sidestep out of the way of it. He's still standing, but he's looking pretty bad shape.
Okay.
Next up is
Who's next?
Eleonora, who's going to, after seeing Jube get bit pretty badly, she's actually going to divert and attempt to go at the wolf to divert some attention. And that's not going to be enough. So it goes for the swing, but unfortunately the thick, tough skin of the dire wolf, it's too much where she throws the thrust, it harmlessly bounces off the hide and does not penetrate to do any damage. Next up is the goblin boss, who's going to turn around and he's going to, after taking a cut in the thigh, he's going to, it's time to add another head to my collection, and is going to take a massive swing at you.
I'd like to see you try.
Yeah, that's a 19.
I'm dead.
You're like, well, it was nice having you guys. Thanks for being here on Fireside Story. You take 9 points of damage.
Holy crap.
I actually rolled dead middle of what damage he can do.
my
You got
God.
so lucky. Yeah, so he turns around and takes a swing, and you're like, crap, I need to dodge this. You try to jump out of the way, but it's a great sword. Like, it is a long-reaching sword, and it just cuts right across the center of your chest plate, and you just feel that it digs straight into your gut as it goes across. I mean,
Guys.
you're still conscious, but you kind of stumble back, and you're just, ugh, this.
Guys, I'm bleeding pretty bad right now. I'm at 3.
Yeah, that was a big hit.
You want my potion?
You
Drink
have,
his potion.
I have another one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I have an item too.
We go back to the top of the order now.
Alright, I'm just going after that dire wolf again.
Okay, roll to attack. Is this a power attack, regular attack?
Power attack for sure. Throw me a 5 plus
Show me a 5.
plus a 4 plus a 3, which I don't think is gonna work.
So you take a swing, and the wolf just sees it coming, where he ducks underneath the swing of the blade. Unfortunately, meaning that you miss. Next up is Viz.
Can I move, like, out of combat?
You can, yeah, you have a 5-foot move, so you can disengage. I'm assuming it's you want to disengage and then drink a potion.
Oh, I disengage, drink a potion, and stay disengaged.
Okay.
If that's possible.
He would be,
turns they can run up to you.
yeah,
I mean,
he would
they
be
can-
able to catch up to you, but
Yeah.
he would have to move to you too.
Okay.
Okay. Roll the heal.
Which is a D6, right?
D6 plus 2. Because we're gonna say it's a level 2 wizard making them.
So 6.
Okay. So now only one more attack like that, and you'll be unconscious.
I'm gonna throw you my potion if I kill this dire wolf.
If you kill it, though.
I like 2 more hits.
All right. Next up is the direwolf, who is going to make a bite attempt.
First.
Yeah, he's gonna attempt to attack you. Unfortunately, Eleanor's attack didn't get his attention.
Damage, man.
That is a 9, which is gonna miss. So he ducks under your blade, leaps for you, but you, in your rage, you still were able to see it coming. Where then you just brought the sword up, so it basically hit the sword, but it hit the flat edge, and it hit you with enough force that you kind of slide back a few feet, and then you kind of push him back off. You basically deflect his attack, but there was some power behind that attack.
Not destroy it in 2 kills or anything.
Next up is the hobgoblin, who he's gonna attack Abner since Eleanor backed
Bring
off.
it.
That was close.
Um,
That was Viz for a second.
Gonna take a swing. That is a 12, which is your armor
You
class,
knock
right?
them out.
Oh.
Actually, wait, no, that's not, because First attack misses, second attack hits.
Okay.
So you take 4 points of damage.
Easy peasy.
Now we killed Viz, but that's good.
Okay. Next up.
Dude,
Next up
it's
in the
not
order.
like a joke. I'm gonna die.
Abner, you're up.
Flames up, dude.
So currently the only one I'm engaged with is the
Hobgoblin, yeah.
full sword. Okay, so then I guess I'll go at him again to try to finish him off before moving over to help the rest of the people. 15.
That's good.
With
Without-
touch that,
without
without
modifiers.
modifiers, that's gonna hit.
Help him, not me.
That's the plan. 5 plus 1, so 6.
Okay.
Damage.
You take a swing, and as you do, you come up. He's making another swing with his hand, but you can see that it's already been charred from one of your attacks. So your sword, you just drive it through that, and it just kind of melts that section of his arm where the sword clatters to the ground with the hand still gripping it. He then kind of falls to one knee, like, and then you just right through the neck area, and it's just charred remains of the neck and a bit of the shoulder as then he collapses to the ground.
All right.
He did.
No kidding.
Next up is Eleonora, who is going to attack the wolf.
Yeah, please. Need some help.
That will hit.
Yes.
That will do. She goes for a swing, and it connects with the spine area, and it hits.
Fine.
But it gets stuck on the bone where it's still cut in, but then the wolf spins around and she loses grip at the blade because it got wedged in the spine area. With that said, next up is the goblin boss.
The boss
See
man.
you, Viz.
Yeah.
Nice knowing you.
He's gonna go. You think you can delay the inevitable? As he takes a few steps forward.
Yes, I
and
can.
attempts another swing. That is a 15.
Oh, nope.
So he takes a massive swing down at you again, and you're still.
I say, oop, there it is. Oop, there it is.
You're still. If you were a bard, maybe, but you see the swing coming, and having just healed most of the wound, you're like,
Still
crap,
the last
crap.
couple
You like
traps out of the
jump back as the sword comes in, and it crashes into the ground, and you see chips of rock fly as he lifts the blade. You see a visible cut within the stone itself from his swing.
Oh, crap.
Back to the top of the order with Jude.
Alright, I'm gonna just lunge my straight sword at him. This
Okay.
time. Straight up tip in everything, you know.
I mean, that's usually what you do when you lunge.
Plus 7 plus 4 plus 3. I don't know if that's
So 7 plus 7. That is just enough to hit.
Yes,
And
but
rip
I'm
headphone users.
Not, but I'm not using my power attack.
You don't need to roll damage.
Why?
He had 1 HP.
Oh!
So the wolf leaps at you, ready to make another attack, and just like a shish kebab or skewer, you just take your sword and right in the mouth, just and the wolf goes rigid, and you realize it's rigid because your sword is all along the back of the wolf.
He has
So
a
then,
spine now.
so then in your rage, you just kind of whip your sword back and whip it behind you. So then the momentum of it, the wolf just slides off the blade and falls to the ground behind you.
Nice. And then I'm gonna run towards the boss thing now.
Okay.
Immediately darted towards him.
Okay.
I'm gonna seg Viz.
So Direwolf is
Don't
dead.
worry about it.
Next up is Viz.
Well, I'm going to attack.
He is flanked now because Jube is there. So you will get sneak attack on your first attack if it connects.
Sick.
Do it, dude. Probably do it, man.
And you get an additional +2.
8,
Yeah.
9, 10.
11.
plus 2 would be 12.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's not enough.
Nope.
Go for a swing. Seeing your friends stand side by side with you, you're like, we can do this. You go for another lunge at him, and he parries it and goes, just because you've killed my dog does not mean that you will vanquish me. Next up is...
Bro, you got an anger problem.
He is a goblin war boss. I mean,
I'm telling him this. Yeah, I'm telling him this.
Okay.
You got an anger problem.
He ignores you.
You need to see a counselor.
Abner, your turn.
I heard druids are good at that.
Yeah, he's ignoring you at this point. He's kind of going into a
Did you lose
fury.
your mom?
Oh my gosh, stop it.
He's kind of going into a fury.
But I guess I just rush at him with my flame blade.
Okay.
We have flame blade, bro.
18.
It's going to hit.
Oh, he's dead.
7 plus 1, 8.
Okay. So you take a swing, and he raises to block it with his sword. And since it's a material blade, it goes through and then cuts or burns part of his bicep. And he pulls back his stupid sorcery. Then Eleonora is... I like the flame blade. It works pretty well. Eleonora is going to as well run up and provide support. And goes... as she runs up, she yells, it is not us who will fall, it is you who will fall this day! And makes an attack. That's cocked. That is... Wait, hold on.
A magical 45 points a day.
No, I rolled the wrong dice for... It's a crit, but I rolled the wrong dice for damage. Well, it rolled a 1, so does that much damage. Okay. And next up is the Goblin Boss, who he's still gonna attack Viz.
No, he doesn't like you.
No,
I mean, Viz is the one that's done the most damage so far,
The most
pretty
trash
much.
talking.
Yeah, and the most trash talking. So you've kind of aggroed him. That is a 17.
It does hit. I'm dead.
I'm standing right there to heal you if you don't go out right
8
now.
points of damage.
Are you dead?
You're at 1 HP,
He's
right?
barely standing.
That's 1, right? If I'm not mistaken, you're
There's
a...
1 HP left.
Feeling the pressure a bit there, buddy?
We're living dangerously, do we?
This is an adrenaline rush. I say that in
back
the
to
game.
So he comes down with a swing across, and it cuts from... It hits your collarbone. It doesn't break the collarbone. It, like, bounces a bit, but then slides back down and cuts right across your chest as well. Like, you've been taking some pretty bad hits. And we're back to the top of the order with
I
you.
love the sting of battle.
I'm running towards the
Says the thief who tries to not get in battle.
I see that and get more angry and just like thrust my sword, like jump and like straight into his stomach.
Okay.
Area and power attack too.
Jared wants Viz to die, FYI.
What the
Oh
heck?
my
He put in the
gosh.
chat, kill Viz, kill Viz, kill
Guys.
Viz.
Here we go.
Guys,
Here we go.
guys, I'm telling you.
Oh.
Now 1.
4.
Dang.
So you leap forward, and unfortunately, by leaping, you telegraph your move quite easily. So he just sidesteps it with ease, and you land behind him, kind of spin around where you're like, and yeah, that's the end of your turn. Next up is Viz.
Viz, what are you gonna do, man?
I'm gonna.
Cut in half, pretty much.
I'm not even here.
You're like, I run away. No.
What does the area around me look like?
A few rocks, but it's kind of an open section of the mine.
If I was to use out of game,
Mhm.
if If I was to use the necklace of illumination directly in this guy's eyes, would it blind him or make him like kind of stumble for a second?
From what you saw, I mean, you can try it. From what you saw of the light of when the shopkeep showed it to you, it wasn't like it's like bright like the sun or anything. It's like enough to illuminate the area.
But would it have a shock factor because of how dark it is?
You can try.
I mean, I've already been running around with a flaming sword for the last
Okay,
30
yeah, that's
seconds,
true.
So.
All right. Could I use my grappling hook to try to like grapple, like get away, like to try to throw it into like a side of a wall? And
I mean, you could also just disengage with your 5-foot movement.
Nah, I'm gonna attack.
All right, double attack, regular attack.
Yeah, it's definitely double.
All right, go for it. Your first attack is sneak attack damage if it hits.
7 plus 4, no. Plus 2, no.
Nope.
Not even close.
All right. Well,
This guy's got some pretty nice goblin armor.
6, so it's not gonna hit. So I'm dead.
So unfortunately, those miss. For expediency, since we're getting near the end of our time, I won't describe how you miss. We will jump to Abner. It is your turn.
It was pretty bad.
Seeing that my compatriots in trouble, would he still get opportunity attacks if he's like surrounded by all of us?
Yes, he would still. The way to think of it is that when you're in melee combat, when you attack, it's not that like you're sitting there, and then he's like, it's like you're in a sword fight, and it's your attack is you have an opening, you make a strike. Does it strike true? So he's basically like he's surrounded by you guys, but he is like constantly swinging his sword around in different angles to try to block attacks, and so he would still get an attack.
I guess I do my. I can do my 5-foot disengage and then cure light wounds on Viz, right?
Yeah, you would be able to.
Okay, then I guess I will do
Ooh,
that.
getting lucky, Viz.
I will give you some healing.
1.
So that's 7 plus
3.
1 per level, I believe.
Yeah, it's 1 per level, so 10.
So you get 10 health back.
Oh man, it's like all your health points.
It's true. I'm only missing 3 of my original health.
It was close.
I'm sorry, chat. I had to save him.
Next up is Eleonora, who is going to make another swing. And that's not going to hit. So the goblin boss is... He's going to still attack Viz, I think.
You're probably.
Actually, no. He's going to attack Jube.
Oh.
So he's going to take a swing.
The way he's been rolling, he's going to hit you.
With the 21, I'm going to hit you.
Oh my lord, I'm dead.
Like, well, it was nice knowing you people.
Dude, what health are you at? No, you're not.
I am. He's
The direwolf took a big hit out of him.
No, but 21's good, dude. You'll be fine.
You take 14 points of damage.
Holy crap. I take it all back.
You're like, you'll be fine. You're dead. You're dead. Everyone run. He's dead.
I just like look up at the sky. I'm like, the gods have frowned upon us.
I have 8 points, dude.
You look up and you realize, oh wait, I'm in a cave. I can't see the sky.
I have 8 points, man. Of HP.
Yo, welcome to the team. What's
You're like,
up?
welcome to reality. It's the rest of us.
I'm like, welcome to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. Sorry.
8 points.
Boom.
That's only
Uh,
20, man.
Next. All right, back to the top of the order.
Oh, that makes
Jupe.
me mad. I'm just gonna slice him right in the neck area.
Go for it.
Plus power attack.
All right.
Dude, you're just power attacking everything right now.
Ooh,
Nice.
16 plus 4.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Alright.
Yo, you better slice
Give
him.
me some 6s.
Crackety slash.
Give me some 6s here. Ooh, I got 2. Oh. I don't know.
I would roll it again since Alex had to touch it.
Alright, gives me another chance for a 6. 4.
So it is a 6 combined.
plus 4
So 10,
plus 2
12,
plus 2.
14.
14. All right.
Nice.
That was a solid hit. He's still standing.
What the heck?
I'm dead.
Yeah. That's what you guys are done here.
I have 8 points, man. I should have healed myself.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're all dead.
Next up is Viz.
Just scratch his eyes out or something.
You like drop the daggers and just scratch at his eyes. That'll do a lot more.
All right. Double tack.
All right.
Nice.
12 plus 4 plus 2.
Minus 2 because you're
Double attack.
So
double
16.
attacking. Barely misses.
That misses too.
All right then. Next up on the order is Abner.
I use my flaming sword to attack him. What's this dice?
Nice.
9 plus. I believe it's 3 total.
12.
Yeah, so 12 with the touch attack.
Double check. That's either just enough or barely
I'm
not
still
enough because of
Right on the edge.
because of
If it kills me, then
stupid
you guys
touch attack.
done for. At 8 HP. Technically, I have 2 HP.
Just that rage is keeping you alive.
If that rage ends, I'm dead.
That is barely enough.
Yay!
You got exactly what you
Damage.
needed with the touch attack.
What?
6 damage.
6 damage?
Yep.
How does he die?
Oh my god.
I kind of shove him down, and I don't know. Does he have like a top knot or hair or anything like that? Like
He's clean shaven, except on the very back he's got like he tried to do the ponytail, but he's a goblin. He doesn't take care of his hair well, so it just doesn't. It's kind of just like a bit of a patch of hair.
Do it.
I kind of just grab him by like the scruff of like whatever he has. He's kind of like shoved down, so he's kind of stumbled to his knees or whatever. And then I go, I'm like, you know, now you're part of my collection. Basically, just
Oh
And
my
then,
yeah.
and you just like slowly have the flame go through. So it's not just like it's not a clean cut because it's fire. It takes a little bit, but it is also it doesn't kill him immediately. So he is in agonizing pain until it's about halfway through, and then he passes out from the pain, and you finish cutting the head off. If you want, you can write in your inventory 1 goblin boss head, but
I basically just take the head, chuck it against the wall, and leave it there.
What do you
fair
want?
enough.
Do we?
I
I mean, if you want to take it, we can take it, but
Well, should we show it to Lord?
I mean, we could.
Yeah.
I mean, you also have Eleanor there.
That's true.
But I take my satchel or like whatever container I have, and I, respectfully load Dorian's head into it.
Okay. With that said, I'm assuming you guys want to look at the bodies, check for loot, all that sort of stuff, surrounding stuff.
Sure.
Why not?
What armor does he have?
He has scale mail, but it is a bit scorched and melted in sections where it would cost a bit to repair it.
My bad.
I'm actually.
It's you
good.
can take it, but it would cost you a bit to repair it.
I'll take
It would, just so you know, as a rager, it would impact your ability to cast spells soon. I mean, you can take it and try to sell it.
I'll take it, scale
You could always sell it.
I'm taking that scale now.
Heck, you can sell it for scrap and get at least some gold. Go ahead and roll perception checks to see how much stuff you find.
17
I got 11 plus 8.
plus 10, so 27.
Okay.
19.
24.
Okay. Few things that you see. You see on the goblin boss's hand, he has a ring
Ooh.
I grab it.
that looks pretty ornate. Like, it's not goblin made. It looks like he got it off of someone else.
I do detect magic on it, just in case it's like.
Oh, you detect the crap out of magic coming off this thing. Next up, the greatsword he was using. You realize it's actually a really nice greatsword. Like, really pristine looking sword.
I think Abner should take it.
After the rogue running around with a greatsword that's like 6 feet long.
Dibs.
Next up, you notice that where they were, they actually had a chest sitting there.
Ooh.
And you notice that in the belt of the boss, Dorian's pistol is there.
You can sell this crap.
Here we can.
I'll take it.
No, wait.
Why?
Are we just doing a free for all or what?
I mean, you guys can divide it amongst yourselves. I'm not going to be
I
like,
got the great sword for sure.
I want the gun. I think Abner should have the ring.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, we can figure out how we're gonna split all this stuff up. I think I don't have a strong preference at the moment, but we'll. I mean, yeah, we can split. We can.
Have we broken open the chest yet?
you haven't looked at it yet.
I want to go break over the chest.
One side of it.
All right.
You do have a lockpick. So,
Yeah, that's
right?
why I'm picking
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, roll a sleight of hand check.
Nice.
That's that plus.
That doesn't mean anything to me. What are the numbers?
He rolled a 10.
Roll a 10, but my modifier is really good. Nice.
There are multiple gems.
Mm.
There are some rocks that you can see within is raw gold.
Ooh.
But it's not been melted down into, and it's not been processed or anything.
Nuggets.
You also find a I'm not blanking on what it's called. Like a monocle. That's what it is. A monocle within there that has a gold rim around the glass piece, but you see that the glass has been cracked.
Detect magic.
You sense faint magic in the sense like it was magical at one time, but it's now kind of sputtering magic. Like it has been damaged.
Yes.
Okay.
Viz, take that.
This is what I think we should do. I think we should take all of it, we should sell it all, and then divide the profit amongst each other.
We should at least get some of it appraised. Like,
Yeah.
we should see if anybody can figure out what the ring does and stuff like that.
Okay, the ring, obviously the magical equipment,
Mm-hmm.
we want to make sure we understand what it is.
Gold, gems.
The gold and gems we should sell, because we should get some money.
You don't want the bling bling? No.
No, I might take one gem and just wrap it around my neck, but not really about it. Really, I'm not looking to impress anyone lately.
We'll take one gem each.
You
and
sure
sell
about
the rest.
You know what? I take it back.
You're like, I need it all, every bit of it.
I take 2 gems and I go over to Eleonora and I say, "My lady, here's a gem for my gem."
I was half expecting you to knock out the glass on the monocle and put a gem on it, turn it into a ring.
That'd be cool.
That'd be lame. She goes, takes one of the gems. Thank you. I'm glad we all survived. Now, can we go back to that other room?
Oh shoot.
No.
Where's your donkey?
My dude's gone. My pony is dead.
Take that for the chest.
Technically, it's not.
Use your
It's somewhere out there.
It was in Dorian's possession.
Yeah, where the heck is my pony?
So we'll find it again at some point.
We'll roll another D100. No.
I'll roll it. I don't even care.
But I mean, so Eleanor goes, can we go back to, can we search those other rooms?
I'm good with that once we gather up the stuff.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Who's gonna
If
carry
you
it
guys
all?
risk life and limb, I don't want you. It's not like we're gonna say, "Oh, you go empty-handed."
Who carries it all?
Figure we just kind of split the load. I already grabbed the.
All right, Jube. Looks like you
Right.
got the chest.
Alright, whatever.
I'll grab the gun in the ring.
You can put the chest and
Okay.
everything.
You get the great sword too.
And scale up.
Yep.
I wrote that.
Um.
And it's plus everything else.
Yep.
Yeah. So she was wanting to head back to the room with the circle, or no? She was wanting to just explore the areas we haven't explored yet.
She was wanting to check out the rooms behind the teleportation room.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. For expediency, since those were the last of the goblins, you don't encounter anything else. You get back to the teleportation room, and she goes, okay, I want to go. You know, it's like, let's go. At this point, she's lit a torch. Like you have light, even though your potions have worn off, all that sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
She goes, I want to check those back rooms. If there's anything that can help figure out where it came from, I want to know.
Okay.
So you go into the back room. So you go, and it's an intersection. Do you want to go straight, left, or right?
Straight left or right? What do you think?
I turned to her and basically said, you know, any inclinations as to which way?
I don't have any. I don't know. The reason I wanted to come here was so I could try to figure stuff out. If I knew, I wouldn't need to come down here.
We go left.
All right, you go left. You find you walk about 50 yards or so, and it does dip down. You enter a room where there are stone shelves on both sides, and they're about 4 rows high. And they go down a good 20 to 30 feet, and they're filled with books that are covered in cobwebs and dust and all that sort of stuff. It's not like it's jam packed with books, but there are if you count all of them, it's probably like 70 to 80 different books. She walks up and she grabs one, opens it, but unfortunately, the book is so old that the ink has long since faded, and some of the pages even fall out as she opens it because the binding has because it's that old of a book. She's like, dang it! Just slams the book down, pulls another one out, and searching through it, and similar thing. Oh, dang it! Throws it to the other side. She spends probably another 3 to 4 minutes trying to find anything in there, and is not able to find any legible books.
Okay.
Unless you guys want to search for anything in here, she basically turns to you and goes, "We gotta go down one of the other paths."
Nah. Not do that. I can't read anyways, so I don't think I can. I don't know if I can.
What's your intelligence?
I can read. I can read at 17. Guys, I can read. I just figured it out.
Yeah, you know also extra languages as well.
I had no idea.
Yeah, you would know common. What was your sorceress bloodline type? Was it aberration? It was the one that gave you a tentacle, right?
I forgot what it was called.
I think then that's I'll check later.
Yeah.
You can speak that too.
We'll say in between now and next session, we'll hash out what languages you do know, and you get
17, I have no idea.
with 17. I'm pretty sure you get an extra one language you get to pick. I think it's either 1 or 2. I don't remember which off the top of my head.
Druidic, so I can see what you're saying.
You can't pick Druidic though.
Ooh, I'm gonna do.
Druidic is a secret language that only Druids can know.
I'm gonna do half.
Similar to Rogue Speak.
Ooh, I'm doing half road speak.
You have to be a rogue to know Rogue Speak.
Well,
I don't
That
even know
Rogue
what-
Speak, it's essentially like small signals, like marks that thieves would leave for each other, like the sort
Like
of
what I
thing,
was
like
trying to do.
sort of, but also it would be like Rogue Speak would be the equivalent of like putting a little mark on a house to mark that this place is a good place to hit, like that type of thing. But okay, she's like, we have to check the other rooms. There's got to be something here.
okay, whatever. Let's just do
Yeah,
it.
I'm cool.
Okay, so she leads the way and
Shoot.
goes down the center path.
Good idea.
And as she enters, the room is dark, and she steps forward. And as she steps forward, you hear, and you see the ground begin to light up underneath her. And as you guys enter, the ground begins to light up underneath your feet as well. Where it's like where you step, like it's when you lift your leg to take the next step, you can see like your foot imprint lighting up and the light beginning to expand in the room a bit. Is there anything you want to do, or just let it keep happening?
Or just casually detect magic.
Yeah, there's some magic in this room.
Surprise, surprise.
Shocker.
Shoot.
Is there-
I guess guys look generally around us.
Sure.
20.
20.
Yeah. Whoa, we both
Double
got
20.
1.
You're just
Visit, yeah,
you're super
Viz is
obsessed with the glowing feet and stuff.
Viz is instead like playing with it, where it's like he puts his foot down, lifts up, like, oh, that's cool. Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's cool. The two of you with your natural 20s, you see that the light is beginning to coalesce into lines that are that go to the side of the room, and then go along follow along the edge, like where the corner is. It's along that. It goes along the edge, and it's moving towards the far wall, where you see that there's in the light you begin to see that there's a mural there, and you can, by looking at, you can see it's like the magic is meant to light up the room in a very specific way rather than just by torchlight.
Okay. You guys just signal to Eleanor. See this? Towards the mural.
Oh, she's in front of you and she's just like staring at it, like mesmerized, like what the heck is happening?
If I jump, what would happen?
There's a smaller pulse of light from where you land that still goes into that side.
You die. No.
So suddenly you take 500 damage. No. So as you let about 30 seconds more go by, as more light is filling the room, and you begin to actually see what is on the mural, where it is a depiction of, in the bottom right, you see creatures that you guys have never seen before. Like, you don't know what they are. If you want, you can roll a knowledge check.
Knowledge.
History.
Nope, I have no history.
Actually, you can do history or arcana.
Oh, Arcana? I have 9 Arcana.
So then what's your roll?
It's 15.
Yeah, you don't know what they are.
10.
Do I have 9? I have 9. Yeah, I have 9.
What was it, 10?
10.
Yeah, you unfortunately don't recognize these creatures. But you see these creatures that are like have horns, they're all armed. It's obvious that it's a military force that are surging forward, and you see them fighting humans, elves, all sorts of different races of people that you know to this day, and you see that they are slaughtering them. Like it's people lying on the ground dead. You see people bleeding. You see people like trying to fight but failing. And then more to the left, as you get to the other side of the wall, you begin to see that the light is coalescing around a central figure that is holding a blade high into the air that is radiating light down. And it's the light that's going in the room. It's essentially filling the mural as to show the light beams of light that are heading down. And the figure that is holding the blade, you look at the figure and go ahead and roll me a perception check.
All of us?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
20.
Nat 20?
Yes.
7.
I should stay in this room for the rest of the.
You guys rolled too low to know this.
So.
Okay.
It probably is.
So I kind of look up.
What do you see, Abner?
Turn to Eleanor. I think that's you.
When you turn to her, you see that she's stunned. Like, she realizes it too. And you guys finally begin to pick up on
Oh my gosh.
the person holding the blade is Eleonora.
What the heck? And
I
you
just thought she
like
was
her.
cute, yeah. I don't know anything.
Oh shoot, you like some
And you see,
things.
and in the mural, you see surrounding her are other people that all have that are all different races, all different.
She'd be a goddess
Like they
for all
aren't
I know.
wearing they aren't wearing a singular banner. They all have like different identifying marks on them, and they're all standing together, providing a shield wall, having weapons forward, that type of stuff. And then as the light finally finishes filling the mural, text begins to appear on the top. Unfortunately, none of you are able to read it.
No,
It is
no,
in
no.
it is in a dialect that you do not know. And Eleonora kind of falls to her knees and is like, I don't understand. I mean, what? This place is what has got to be at least hundreds of years old. How can I be here? How is this possible?
Stop screaming.
With the 20 that I rolled, can I spot the guy that dropped her off on the mural anywhere, or is he not there?
That's actually a good question. On the mural. If I tell you either way, are you just then going to say it? Because otherwise it's up.
I'm gonna tell Eleanor. That's who brought you here.
Okay. In that case, I don't have to get up and whisper to you. No, you do not see.
Okay.
You do not see anyone clothed in light like that person. It is when you saw that person, it was difficult to tell though because of the fact that being bathed in such energy, it's like I don't see anyone that has that look, but I wasn't able to really get any facial, features, that type of stuff. But yeah, so she's still just shocked. I don't understand. How can I be here? Or how could I be in this thing that's got to be hundreds of years old? But I mean, I'm a human. I'm human. Like, that's not possible. It's just not possible.
Honey, you're more than human.
And with that,
Guys.
we are ending tonight's session. So, thank you to everybody that was watching. I thought that'd be kind of I have a plan for it, obviously, but I thought it'd be kind of a cool thing to leave a cliffhanger. Some nice little tidbits for future sessions.
Yeah.
So, with that said, is there anything that anyone wants to talk about before we end the stream? You know, things coming up, anything like that?
Not particularly.
All right. So, with that, thank you so much to everybody that was watching. Let's see. I actually need to, be professional and get my scene switcher ready before doing the whole outro. So thank you everybody for watching. Next stream is going to be next Tuesday. This is the last week of me taking time off to work on other stuff. Where we will be back with Fireside Stories, and then to announce the Thursday after next week's episode, we are going to be back to gaming streams, and we're going to be playing the game BattleTech, which is a game from in the MechWarrior universe. It's similar to XCOM, except you're all in a bunch of giant mechs shooting laser cannons at each other. I actually got to check out BattleTech, the tabletop version of it, when I got to visit Seattle and visit Hyper RPG Studios. So I'm really excited and looking forward to trying out the computer version of it. But yeah, with that said, thank you everybody for watching. I will see you guys next time.